Y'all ready?
Yeah, let's go.
We are live, Boog.
Oh, we are live. Yes, sir.
We're officially back at it.
Ka-choo.
It's a rare condition this day and age to read any good news on the newspaper page. Love and tradition of the grand design. Some people say it's even harder to find. Well, then there must be some magic clue inside this gentle world. 'Cause all I see is a tower of dreams. Real love bursting out of every scene. Days go by. It's the bigger love of the family.
The Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast is recorded in front of a live virtual audience and is funded in part by viewers like you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. We officially back at it. Boog Nice coming at you with the Articulated Comic Book Art Podcast episode. I really have no clue what episode we on, but want to help me out, fellas? No?
218.
218, episode 218. I'm your host, Boog Nice. Got my boys with me, Fabster 360, and Cheesy, Rick Dom. We back after a 1 week hiatus with a very special episode. How you guys doing this evening?
Doing good,
man.
feeling good. It's gonna be a good episode.
Yeah? Feeling
think
good? Juiced up?
The juice is loose, yeah, for sure.
Don't squeeze the juice.
All right. P, how you doing? Oh, man. You sound good. You sound a lot better, man.
Well, he's had a great week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. It's still, it came back. It's still here. The voice, at least.
I was about to ask you to slowly say fossil fuels, but now it's like, I don't know.
Well, we got to start with Poncho then. How was your week? Because, we took last week off because it was your anniversary, right? Congrats to Poncho.
Where'd you guys go again? Tell all of you. Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, no.
That's a great memory made right there.
There you go. Yes, it's a lot of that going around right now. A lot of people getting sick, flu and what have you, aside from COVID still lurking around out there too. You know? So, well, definitely. Oh, there you go. Like
Oh shit! Shirt matching the fucking chair.
Mhm.
Yo.
I like it, man.
Camouflage, G.I. Joe. Let's go.
When your wife tells you she wants to go to Mount Pocono, you take her to Mount Pocono. What a guy, Poncho.
Looking like a fucking school teacher.
He's gonna hit the links after this podcast.
Mar-a-Lago's a nice place, the best place. Some say the greatest place in the world for you to golf with Poncho.
Man. I saw the Trump NFTs.
All right, my bad. Sorry.
Those were the worst. Those were the worst thing I've ever seen.
I did kind of enjoy the one when I'm riding on the elephant. That gave me a good chuckle.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Inspiration for sure.
I just realized that my mic wasn't on for the stream, so nobody could hear me.
Wow, so they just thought we were talking to ourselves the whole time.
Yeah, Poncho, are you here right now? Is he in the room with us right now? This Poncho?
Oh man. Well, you are now.
To reiterate, I went celebrated 5 years with my wife. We went on our anniversary. It was great. Went to Myrtle Beach. And that was where we had like our first like huge out of town date. So, but she got like super sick the second we got there. So this was like our redemption going back. Quick, I know you guys just heard this 5 seconds ago, but nobody else did.
You're exposing the business, Punch.
Pulling the curtains.
About you, Fab? What was your week like?
It's been a very good actually couple of weeks. And then this week, we're in the last week of production for the show I was working on, and like we're getting set up for I think I might have told you guys in the chat, but news came out on like the beginning of the day on Monday that the show that we'd been working on that season like got canceled off of HBO Max.
No.
As part of like a bunch of other shows that got cut because of the whatever budget cuts they're doing at Warner Brothers.
Wow.
So it kind of put a damp on the rest of the week, but they finished the season, and hopefully it finds a home somewhere because they're adamant that it's going to find, somewhere else to release it.
Well, you still worked all this time. It's not like you did.
Yeah, exactly.
They're still paying him.
Yeah, they have to. But
he's getting
at the
paid,
end of the day,
baby.
it's just like bummer. Hopefully, people will be able to see the work,
Yeah, that's for sure.
So,
That kind of
so it's been busy, but then of course that happens.
You don't want to get Batgirled.
It basically did, to be honest.
Oh my god.
It's kind of it's under that umbrella for sure.
It's funny. You got a movie where this guy's doing all this crazy shit and getting locked up, and that's still coming out. But God forbid, female Batgirl gets released.
Yeah, no.
Or Batgirl movie gets released.
Well, I think we'll probably talk about all that with our guests because we do have guests.
Ooh.
But, other than that, yeah. How was your week, Rick? Huh?
It was good. It was my birthday last week, so it's pretty good.
That's right.
A.C.B.A.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah, can't complain. Can't complain, baby.
You do?
We just had dinner here at my house. Opened some gifts. Nothing crazy. Watched the UFC fights. They fell on my birthday, so
wasn't there some controversy with one of those fights?
A lot of controversy. Yeah. The two biggest fights of that night were no good. Guy won that, like, at best should have been a draw, but he won and everybody was complaining. They said that it was fixed, but realistically, things like that don't happen. Like, I keep seeing a lot of people talk shit about the UFC, like, this is fixed. The guy that everybody likes has ended up winning, even though he didn't do shit. Like, Dana White hates those guys as much as the fans do. He has no choice in those judges. They're all brought by the Athletic Commission. They have nothing to do with the UFC. So, they're just dumb, and I don't know what fucking fight they were watching, but they're tripping.
I saw a video, or like a little like short clip of Joe Rogan's like reaction to that one fight.
Yeah, and then the last fight was the championship fight, and that ended in a draw. And yeah, just really It was a really unsatisfying card, even though it was on my birthday and whatnot. Even though so many people were hyped, it was a really, really anticlimactic UFC card.
How much is a pay-per-view for an event like that these days?
It's not anymore. Now the way UFC works, is you subscribe to ESPN Plus, and that's how you get it now. From what I know, I watched it illegally because I'm a bad boy.
No?
I'm a bad man, but not like a couple months ago. I was gonna buy one. I was like, fuck this. I'll give old man Dana some of this sweet cash I got, and that's when I found out like there is no buying it. Like you have to subscribe to ESPN Plus, which is like I don't remember what it was, but it was really expensive when I looked it up, and I was like, man, they're out their damn minds. And yeah, so that was my week.
Yeah. All right. Well, my week that we were off was insane, but I'm not going to really get into that at the moment. But this past week was a lot better. Things kind of smoothed out. So yeah, I got a lot of toys, a lot of stuff to open, but yeah, my week was pretty good. We're not gonna dwell on that. Let's get into let's bring in our folks. We got some special guests here, huh?
Let's go.
Oh, baby.
Yes, and who would that be?
Oh, we are going to be joined this evening by the big three of Marvel Legends. Hopefully, we will get. Oh yeah, we are going to get everybody at one time. This is awesome. So we got Dan, Dwight, Ryan joining us tonight, chopping it up with us, talking toys, talking Marvel Legends, talking everything.
Holy cow.
All
Uh-oh.
our baby pictures, everything. It's
For
happening.
people who say we don't do enough guests, here is a lot at once.
How about three? How about three in one
About
day, pal?
3.
Let's go.
Yes. Welcome, guys. How's it going? I hope y'all can hear us.
Check my check.
We can.
Okay.
Hello.
Hello.
Ryan, can we hear you?
There's Dwight.
Yo, what up?
There's
All
Dan.
right.
What up?
Benny?
Wow.
And Ryan.
Oh, and he's wearing a Since Apparel T-shirt.
Oh,
Yo.
look at
What a-
that Christmas
What a
tree.
guy!
Oh, man.
Wait.
Festive. Welcome, guys. And Ryan also joining us from vacation at the moment, right? So thank you.
Parts
Right.
unknown.
Good.
Parts
So
unknown.
if we see a broom hitting him in the head, we know why.
Yo, but first off, we just wanted to say from the three of us, like, thanks for inviting us, and yeah, we love talking to you guys. So I personally can't stay for too long. I promised my lady I'd take her out for dessert, so my bad. But
dessert.
yeah,
Mm.
it's just an honor to join you guys.
It's great to have you guys on, especially all at once. Wasn't absolutely sure if you guys were all going to be able to join, but that is great. A great Christmas present here, right before the new year, right before the 20th of this month too. So hopefully we'll something new in terms of reveals on the 20th. But yeah, just real quick, we wanted to. How was you guys this week? What happened with you guys this past week? Dwight, how was your week?
My week so far has been amazing, but it won't mean anything depending on what happens on Sunday. So, we'll see. So far I'm doing great, but come the outcome of this weekend, it could be the best December on record. So, we'll see what happens.
Sunday
what about Ryan?
Sunday is what, the
World Cup.
16th.
Yeah, World Cup finals, but I've got it's been a rough year for me. My Bearcats made it to the Final Four, lost. My Bengals made it to the Super Bowl, lost. Brazil got knocked out of the World Cup already. So I'm hoping I've had 3 really bad sporting things in 1 year, and I'm hoping my final piece can, if Argentina wins on Sunday, I think I can retire from watching sports. I think everything that I've ever wanted to see happen will have happened if that happens on Sunday.
Wow, it's that big for you. Okay. I could dig it.
Yeah, just so you guys know, like, me, Dwight, and like another person on the team, we are like total like soccer geeks, and like we have like this group chat, we have like a Teams channel, and like Ryan is just like on there, and he's just like making jokes because he has like he has like no idea what's going on really, and then like me and Dwight and the other person, we like assigned him a team, so he's like, because we forced him to, now he's a Manchester City fan and stuff like that. So yeah, we talk about soccer all the time. So Sunday for us, we're probably gonna be very loud in the group chat.
You guys got any friendly bets going on over there? New York?
Oh man, we don't. Hasbro's not about gambling, right, guys?
Not at all.
Ryan, how about you? How was your week? You like Pete mentioned, you on vacation right now. Where are you right now?
Yeah, we flew to Taiwan, so we thought for a restful holiday break to take a baby on a 17-hour flight. Made sense. But we made it. We made it safe and sound, and we're just still getting adjusted to the jet lag. But just enjoying going out my wife is really awesome. She actually looked up a bunch of toy stores because we're in Taipei,
wow.
in a pretty busy area, and so we went to like 4 or 5 toy stores yesterday, which had some really cool stuff, including a lot of the American stuff. And then there was also one like card store, Dan, that was like selling high-end basketball cards, and they were like breaking boxes.
Oh.
And so you walk in and there's just a table in the middle, and they have like all of these singles, and they're like cataloging them. And so I'm assuming they're just, selling on eBay or whatever. So that was pretty cool.
Wow, did you actually see Marvel Legends out there?
I did.
Wow, that must be crazy
on
to see
NECA,
the product out
yeah.
there.
There's a lot of Super 7 type stuff. They carry a lot of the reaction figures. I picked up these 2 little Takara die-cast Transformers from a department
Right.
store. So these are kind of
Wow.
fun. So those are my little souvenirs so far. And then otherwise, it's been all Pokemon stuff for our son.
That's what
Pokemon
I'm talking
everything.
about. That's the guy you got to follow.
Let's
That kid's
go.
got his head on straight, baby.
Yeah, I saw you were posting some stuff on your IG. So
So you're gonna be there through Christmas?
Yeah. Yep. We're coming home before the new year, but we'll be here for Christmas. So
That's nice. That's cool.
good times.
Dan, how about you?
Yeah, this week it's just been work. So like with Hasbro, just so you guys have insight to it, a lot of like the week between Christmas and New Year's, a majority of the company has the day like a vacation almost. And so in preparation of that, a lot of people, save up holiday time. And so like this past week and next week is like when everybody's like off basically. But like the work never stops. There's a lot of decisions that even affects Marvel Legends. So even today we were just like trying to finalize some things. So it's crazy. We were talking about it in the waiting room a little bit, me and Ryan, and we were just like, oh man, even on vacation we got to think about, it's always work. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
I guess there's some crazy push for you guys to get things situated for the end of the year for the final quarter, huh?
I mean, at a global level, we can't control a lot of stuff because at that point, like the product's already made, like, and it's really about, the execution and distribution. So we're really just planning out like at this time, like 2024 stuff and just like finalizing stuff there. So it's always crazy. Like I was telling Ryan this like a couple weeks ago, but like I'm never sure what year we're in because we're always thinking of like 2023 the next year or the year after that. So like sometimes I mess up the date all the time. So like in my mind I'm thinking like next year is like 2025 or something like that.
I've got a lot of like idiot like family members and friends that are like, dude, you got to be like so busy like right before Christmas, and it's like I'm not an elf. I'm. Not, I mean, I have a job. My job's making toys, but it's not quite the same thing. But they look at you like, oh, and I'm like, what do you think I do? It's like I'm busy all the time. It's a job. What's wrong with you?
You're Tim Allen.
No, you're definitely
Santa
like Santa Claus for sure. Like a cool Santa Claus, like a David Harbour Santa Claus.
I put this on Twitter, but like one of our leaders in our team, she was telling us a really cute story about how she was on a phone call with like a big group of retailers, and then one of the retailers was complaining about like how they didn't get allocation enough toys for the Christmas season, and so like her son, like while she was like tucking him in, she was like Mom, is Santa Claus gonna get his allocation for Christmas? Like, and so she had to tell her son like, oh, don't worry, Santa Claus always gets his allocation. Don't worry.
Wow. Yeah, Santa Claus is at the front of the line. No worries there.
He's the reason the retailer is suffering right now.
We kind of wanted to get into you guys's, have a little fun and get into your history, like how you guys actually got into working at Hasbro. Just your journey to where you guys are now. Where you guys were as kids in terms of collecting, what you did collect, and just a kind of brief little summary of how you guys came to where you are right now, working at Hasbro. Dwight, you wanna start?
Sure. When I was a kid, my favorite toy line was GI Joe. I grew up yeah, I'm old. Was born in the early '70s, so I hit that perfect window for playing with GI Joe. Back when you had it on television 5 days a week with Transformers and He-Man and all that awesome stuff. So GI Joe was my absolute favorite toy line as a kid. I got in really deep. I remember, when I when and how I got certain action figures. I remember begging my mother to pick up Storm Shadow in the candy right by the register because some mom must have told their kid no, and she just stuck it in the candy. And I saw it and I grabbed it, and I never begged for toys, but my mom bought it for me because I knew I would never find '84 Storm Shadow, ever again. So she got me that. And I even remember buying my last two action figures as a kid. I kind of stopped playing with them, but when Crimson Guard and Snow Serpent came out, I think it was like '87 era. It was like I was kind of on that cusp of I was too old to play with toys, but I loved the design so much I had to buy them anyways. So I picked those up um and I stopped playing with toys until college, and I got my first co-op at Kenner, which was a company owned by Hasbro in Cincinnati, Ohio. So I went to UC and I got into the industrial design program, got co-ops. Kind of, any nerd dream was going to Kenner. So I went there. I got a co-op. I was hired to be on Tonka, which actually terrified me because I hate vehicles. I'm not like a big vehicle guy. I'm not. For many years I drove my wife's Honda Civic. No shame towards Honda Civics. I'm just not like a big car guy. Just I just need a car to get me from A to B and back to A. That's all it was. But I took the job, and on the first day, they had all of us co-ops in a room, and they're reading names and giving you your assignments, and they go, Dwight Stahl, you're on GI Joe. And I was like, what? Because I thought I was going to be doing Tonka. They moved me to the Joe team. I worked on 12-inch GI Joe, starting lineups, that kind of stuff. And then eventually when I finished school, I went up to, I had one co-op I still needed to complete. They had closed the Kenner facility. I went to Rhode Island. They brought me on there. I was hired. I did a lot of GI Joe as a co-op. I worked on Spy Troops and Valor Venom. Then I was hired full time to do BTR, which was like a brick construction system, like Creo and Lego. And then went through a lot of different things and landed on Marvel, and was on Marvel since the beginning. When we got the license. In 2006 for 2007 product, and I've been on Marvel ever since then. You guys all hated me for about 8 years, I think. You guys that's when I was receiving a lot of death threats and stuff still in the mail, which was terrifyingly creepy. Now you just get a lot of hate, through Instagram and stuff like that. It's not as threatening as when you actually get something sent to your house and you're like, oh, this is weird. This is unnerving.
I mean, how can you feel threatened of a guy with an anime avatar telling you he knows you, he knows where you live? Why would you pick that character and that mold?
Yeah. And then after being there for quite a few years, these two lovable knuckleheads joined the team, and we've been rocking ever since. So that's a mid-level kind of brief where I came from and how I got here.
That was excellent.
Beautiful.
All right, who's going to try to top that?
We go chronological. So I'm in the middle there though. So super quick, I guess. I grew up. I was born in the early '80s, so kid of the '90s, early '90s, right? And so I grew up with X-Men, Marvel, comic books, cartoons, video games, trading cards, action figures. You guys know the deal. Always loved that stuff. Loved other brands as well. Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Star Wars, which is what I first started with. And then
That's
yeah, kind of even got into Marvel Legends in the early 2000s, and a lot of the Marvel Universe stuff that Dwight and teams picked up when Hasbro started on the license, and kind of Legends 6-inch went away for that couple of years. So I was really into that, and then went to grad school, wanted to do marketing, and I was out at LA, and Mattel was right down the road, and Mattel was recruiting, and I was going to a bunch of these companies, like Nestle, Taco Bell, whatever, in different kind of industries. And I was like, wait a minute, like Mattel, like I am a toy collector. I love toys. Like, could you actually work in toys? And then I realized you could. And so I really went after it and got a bunch of internships at other places and ended up at Hasbro after grad school in 2013. And I was working on Monopoly in the gaming division. So got my feet wet in the company on the biggest board game, kind of there is, and a major franchise for the company, which was great to learn. And then had the awesome opportunity to hop over to the Marvel team in 2015. So 2016 was the first product year that I kind of worked on, which happened to be a big year because Dwight and the team, they were launching 12-inch Legends. They were launching premium role play. And that was a big movie year with Cap Civil War, which had, Spider-Man coming in. So it was like kind of just jumping into the craziness of that. And then shortly thereafter, I got to work on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 because that was a 2017 film. And then, as you guys know, like a lot of Legends ever since then, and kind of never left. And so I used to be the new guy for a bunch of years with Dwight and the team, but now I'm one of the older guys, I think. And then we got Dan in 2019, and then he can take you through his journey to the Legends team.
Yeah, no. For me, when I was a kid, oh crap, my mode out. Yeah. Honestly, like my parents didn't really buy me a lot of toys, and our family wasn't that well off. And so for me as a kid, I felt bad even asking to get toys, to be honest, right? And so the only way, I had a couple action figures. I had a Robin figure, a blue Power Ranger, Beanie Baby, a Hess truck, and one Spider-Man figure. But like in my mind, I would like love to walk like Toys R Us, KB Toys, and stuff like that.
That's crispy.
And I would love and dream about like the Toy Biz like stuff. But yeah, man, like I did not grow up collecting, but I just loved from afar, like sneakers, like all these things that I wanted in my head. You know what I mean? And I got into Marvel because in a library that I went to, there was like a bunch of like paperbacks and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's how I started reading comics, and I'm really into like the animated series stuff that came out in the 90s, as Dwight will know, because I always bother him about it, right? So, Spider-Man, the animated series, and X-Men, that was like my gateway drug into like Marvel even more. So that's how my fandom started, and my journey to Hasbro was, I was in Afghanistan, and I had to make like a decision of like, do I still want to stay in my like career in the military, which I love. Like I love like being part of a team and leading troops, and that camaraderie in the military. That's something that I cherish a lot. And so it was a tough decision for me.
Dan, when did you go into the military?
I got in, oh man, I think 2012-ish. And then like it's like right after college. And then I became an officer. And then around 2015, 2016 or something like that. That's when I had to like make a decision about like, do I go to business school or do I stay? And I went to business school, and business school, as Ryan will tell you, like they kind of bombard you with all these like industries. Like, do you want to be a consultant? Do you want to be like finance? Do you want to do marketing? Like that kind of stuff. And for me, marketing made sense. And I was lucky enough to get an MBA internship with Monopoly. And I worked my butt off in that internship, and I was lucky enough to get selected into a full-time role. I worked part-time with Nerf too for a little bit, and but my first full-time role at Hasbro was Baby Alive.
That's crazy.
And wow. I love it. I love Baby Alive because like it really forced me. It forced me to be a marketer, because like I had no history of like Baby Alive toys and no experience with that like consumer at all. You know what I mean? And so it made me realize what the product development cycle is, the amount of innovation that goes even into a Baby Alive doll. Like, man, the way that they make the poop and like the hair and all that stuff is like crazy, man. So like I love Baby Alive, but
What would you say the sleeper function of a Baby Alive is? Something that would blow people's minds.
Well, there's a new growing Baby Alive doll that is like actually pretty crazy. So it like goes from a life cycle of like 1 to like 2 or something like that. So you could like increase the height and everything. So check out Baby Alive.
Oh my god.
But yeah, no. But for me, I knew I couldn't stay in Baby Alive too long, and one of the brands that I really, really wanted to be at Hasbro was Marvel. And so I just kept networking with some senior leaders who were in charge of Marvel at that time. And then, yeah, one time while I was on vacation, he called me up and he was like, hey, do you want to be on the Marvel Legends team? And I was like, I almost cried, man. Like, I was in Spain. I just watched Messi in Barcelona play. And it was one of the greatest. I say this all the time, but it's like one of the greatest days of my life because, like, I was with my fiance. She surprised me with, like, Messi tickets in Barcelona. We were having a great night. I was semi-drunk, and I thought, who is this guy who's, like, WhatsApping me? And then he left a voicemail being like, hey, like, Dan, I have an opening here at Marvel Legends. You want to come? And then, like, I called him out 10 minutes later. I was like, yo, thank you so much. I promise I'll be, like, awesome for the team. And then, yeah, and then I met some people, and, yeah, I've been on Marvel Legends ever since. So
that's what's up.
I've been just very lucky and fortunate to work underneath like Ryan and work with Dwight, and yeah, I'm just the hype man for Ryan and Dwight basically. So I just work my butt off to make them happy.
Did we just go in order from oldest to youngest too?
Yeah. This is a pro show, Boog.
Yeah, everything is by design here.
Oh yeah.
That's
Bob Ross is wrong. No happy accidents. It's all carefully orchestrated.
Those are great stories. I'm pretty sure that we're trying to hold the wolves back down there in the in the comment section, huh? That's a lot of questions coming in.
Well,
yeah, throw us some comments. Some questions if they. We'll try to answer as much as we can.
You want to read a few?
Yeah, we do a lot of the super chats, especially. So, of course, we want to give it back to people who contribute to the show too.
Fab or P, if you guys, I can't see any of that stuff. So,
yeah, Pancho, why don't you go?
Let's go. Let's share the load, Fabio. How about that?
Okay, all right. I might go first. Yes.
All right. Let's see. First and foremost, Sunny S994 hit us with $9 saying, "Yo, Fabio, you killing it, man."
I do not know who this person is. They're amazing. They're the number one person.
Yeah, I don't know if you three know, but for some reason, wherever Fabio goes and he's like live streaming like this, that guy donates and says, "Yo, Fabio, you killing it." Every single time.
The same comment on anything that I'm a guest on, any of my shows, any of my videos. I don't know who they are, man, but it looks like they're using what, euros or pounds?
That's it. Yeah, worldwide, baby.
Man.
This meme's gone worldwide.
Whoever they are,
we in the bank.
Yeah, whoever they are, we love this guy. He does it every time.
I love you, Sonny. And I actually have a friend in real life whose name is Jake Sonny, so I had to confirm with him. Are you like my number one online fan? No idea what you're talking about.
No.
What do you mean online fan? What does that mean? I'm like, never mind.
Not even a fan in real life.
All right. Well, thank you, Sonny, whoever you are. You killing it. It is you who is killing it.
All right, here's one just now from Pock Photos. He said, "Dwight, who's the GOAT of WWE/F? Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold, The Rock, or CM Punk?"
CM Punk.
Out of context of not putting an era besides that, I would have to go with my personal, and I think I'd have to go Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Let's go.
It's gotta be.
That's a damn good pick.
It's it's like I think he probably moved more merchandise over such a short window of a career, because Hogan's career was massive, and I love Hogan, but Austin's meteoric rise was so ridiculous and really a short run as far as professional wrestling goes. I mean, he was only there for 3-4 years, like really killing it. So I think because of the sad shortness of his reign, but the total awesomeness and the ridiculousness that they were allowed to put on screen, I'd have to go Austin. I think he's why I swear as much as I do now.
He's the reason I swear. The Steve Weisers, man, they get to you.
They sure do.
I'm a big fan. I do it all the time in real life. When somebody like calls my name from across the room or something, it's always a natural what?
Ryan, who's your wrestler? Who's your favorite wrestler? I've never asked you this. I think. Ryan's
My
a big
favorite
wrestling fan.
wrestler is Shawn Michaels. But if you answer the question, I think it has to be Triple H. If you factor in creative contributions, and his run is just kind of kicking off now. Like he brought all the NXT guys over, or kind of helped them grow into what they are now. So that's kind of the deep answer.
Yeah. And
it was his generation of that first run of NXT that got me kind of back into wrestling. So yeah, those contributions on top of the actual wrestling. Triple H is up there for me too, but I gotta go agree with Dwight. I think it's so.
What's that newest?
It's really good.
Yeah.
Hogan figure that came out. Is that like an ultimate? What is that, Fabio?
They're doing a couple different ones. Isn't there another? I think the latest one that came out is the Mega Powers 2-pack. And that's on the body.
Yeah.
How often do you guys get to mess around with other stuff, or what are you buying and just kind of putting on your own shelf that people might not be privy to or might not be hip to? It doesn't have to necessarily be wrestling stuff, but like any other line.
They're all digging for stuff that they have right now.
I got this thing. I got this thing sitting right here because it came in, and I haven't had the heart to open it yet.
Oh yes!
Oh damn!
Let's go.
That the Mythic Legions?
Yeah.
I picked up the Headless Horseman. It was just too awesome not to have, and I didn't want to buy it because I've resisted everything that they've made for the last 5 years because I love it so much, and I knew if I started buying it, it would just be, we all know what it's like getting that freaking shot going into your veins, and I'm like, no. I have a child in college now. I can't buy this line. But since this was like a Halloween-y standalone, I figured, all right, I can buy a one-off and I can just enjoy it for what it is. So that's my most recent toy purchase. The only other thing that I buy a lot of is Lego minifigures. I really love Lego minifigures. I've got probably a couple thousand of those in my basement, and occasionally I'll pick up a WWE or an AEW figure that just kind of, if they hit the right wrestler or the right era of costume, I'll grab a couple of those a year just because they just mean so much to me with what I enjoyed, as I was growing up and still enjoy today. So.
Did you get the Father Christmas?
Those, Transformers. Do you do any of the other?
That's how it starts, right? I'll get the Halloween one-off, and then but there's a Christmas one-off now. Oh, but it actually goes with the one from last year that I missed. Oh, and BBTS has an exclusive. I've been there. I've also had to resist.
Ryan, do you collect any other Transformers? I saw you picked up those little minifigs, but do you?
Yeah, I got a lot. So anything that's kind of reminiscent of the G1 kind of generations, kind of updated but very nostalgic versions of, like, I'm game for. So I'll pick up a lot of those. But I really kind of go wide. It's Transformers. It's Ninja Turtles. Like, I'm big on the NECA movie Turtles and the Super 7 Ultimates and some reactions kind of thrown in there. Getting a little bit more into WWE. I've been a wrestling fan kind of forever, but never got into the toys for whatever reason. I was trying to not go down that path, but I'm slowly getting into it. Like, I backed the new generation ring, so I'll get some kind of Ultimates and some things there. I even picked up an AEW figure recently, and I'll just cherry pick things that remind me of growing up, like some of the new Jurassic stuff, because that first toy line, I grew up with as well. Things like what else do we have? Well, GI Joe Classified series, that team is killing it. So just kind of all over the place, and like other Marvel things too. I got my first Mezco Wolverine there to make Fabio happy. That was on sale. That was a Black Friday thing.
Which one was it?
Sucking up the Fabio.
Got a little horny.
I want somebody to tell me I'm killing it too. Come on.
It was only because Fabio has been killing it so hard that I went and got the the Tiger Stripe Wolverine.
Oh yeah,
in the box there, and so I'm just kind of all over the place.
What did you think about that little Sentinel piece packed in with that Wolverine?
I haven't delved into it. It might not surprise you. It's still kind of in the package, but it's on my list to get to. Yeah.
Getting it for an unboxing Thursdays. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Dioramas are nice. What can I say? Dioramas are nice.
Mm-hmm.
And how about you?
For me,
what else you collecting?
Yeah, so I think P's gonna be happy with this.
Let's go.
I love the SHF stuff.
Ooh.
So I got some Naruto stuff here. I got like a whole collection of DBZ figures because shout out to Justin and David from SHF. They've been killing it, man. Like every time something comes out, I try to be cherry picky too, but like honestly, it's hard with it. Like the DBZ line, they've been just killing it. So anything Naruto, anything. And,
I didn't know that you I didn't know that you were into Naruto or Naruto, or I'm sure I'm butchering it, but my oldest, her ex-boyfriend got her watching it. So some days when I'd be home working from home here at my desk, I just hear the most ridiculous shit going on the television. And I kind of look over my shoulder, and she's balled up in a ball with her blankets watching this insane anime. And I'm like, what are you watching?
That's how it goes. Whenever your parent is in the room, it's the worst soundbite you can imagine comes on screen. You're like, they're eating at a dinner table. I swear to God, look at the screen. every time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like with Naruto, Dwight, I think it's because like I have a younger brother who's like 10 years younger than me, and so I wanted like a connection point with him because he's not really into like the animated series like I was growing up. So for me, I needed something to connect him with, and then like I saw the first episode where like Rock Lee is fighting Gaara, and like that's like the best, like one of the best fight scenes in Naruto, and I was like, yo, what is this? This like it sort of reminds me of like X-Men a little bit because everybody has their own unique like ability and power. And yeah, ever since then I've been like reading I've read the manga and stuff like that, and yeah, Naruto is like one of the ones that like me and him we like debate shit like stupid stuff all the time about it too. Yeah, and so shout out to SHF team. Want to shout out to our starting lineup friends. I'm a big sports guy. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but I always like talk shit about sports. So yeah, I really like the starting lineup figures. Shout out to that team. What else do I
those look really good. I was muted when Dwight was talking about his journey to Hasbro, but that must be crazy. That's like a full 360 for you to have collected that stuff as a kid and then see where it is right now in the modern era with Hasbro. When are you guys gonna? Well, do you guys know when are they gonna unveil the NFL figures?
That's crispy.
I've seen sculpts. They look good, but I don't know. I don't know what their release plans are for it. But some of the players that I saw, some of the likenesses in sculpt form were absolutely stunning. So I can't believe that they're able to, it's cool to see the team dive in without the modern advantages of scan data of the athletes and still make sculpts that look so amazing, but doing it the old school way. And that's just kind of awesome to see, that level of skill and love hasn't been lost in a world where, oh yeah, we scanned them last week. Here's the data. Make the figure. Which I know there's a lot more to it than just that. But when they're having to do it the old-fashioned way of finding all these images and putting them all together and when they put a grayscale image on screen and you're like, oh shit, I know who that is, without any color, without any eyes, without any of that those giveaways. It's like they hit it out of the park when you can figure it out from just a gray. Especially for someone like me who's not very much into the NFL. So when they can put somebody up there and I'm like, oh yeah, I know who that is, even if I can't name them, if I know what team they're from or whatever else, it's like, they're going to be pretty cool. So I'm excited for them as well.
So Ryan, Dan, your favorite sport is basketball though right now? You're a big football fan.
No. To me, it's honestly soccer because yeah, like for me, I just love soccer. I think like if you look at the Warriors, they steal a lot of like soccer stuff in like a lot of the plays that they do and stuff like that. I think basketball is probably second, but honestly, it sucks to be a Knicks fan. So like, yeah,
I was just gonna say there's no way basketball could be his favorite if he's a Knicks fan. Like
yeah, exactly.
Ryan's major love is his NBA. He that's where he goes deep.
All right, so that means you have all the starting lineup figures somewhere in there in package.
I do. I opened the Tatum because I grew up in Massachusetts, so I'm a big Boston everything fan. So Robert Williams back tonight, playing right now. I can check it on my phone. Yeah, go Celtics.
It's funny because we're all into the same two sports. Ryan likes NBA, Dan likes NBA. I like NCAA basketball. Being at UC in the late '90s, early 2000s, and the Huggins era, college basketball in Cincinnati was huge. So I love that. Now I like Seton Hall because my daughter is on the dance team. So whenever I watch the games at the commercial breaks, every once in a while you see them go to the dance team, and you're like, "Hey, there's my daughter." So I like to watch the team to see her for little seconds. And then it's like if it's not college basketball for me it's national level soccer. Number one team in my heart is Brazil. Number one male player is Lionel Messi for Argentina, which a lot of my South American friends are not happy with me that I love both.
That's so contrasting.
I'm supposed to be able to do that. But then the greatest team of all time is the U.S. women's national team. So they just absolutely rock and dominate. So that's my most favorite team to watch. It doesn't hurt that I have 3 daughters and 2 of them play soccer. So it's they love it as well. So
I think I'm the only avid sports fan on this panel. Like I watch every Warriors game. I watch every terrible Raiders game. It's the worst. Being a Bay fan is a nightmare sometimes.
Yeah, I was more of a basketball fan as a kid. Chicago Bulls was my team.
Who can forget you playing basketball with Bill Murray?
Yeah.
Famous video.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
So we want to get into some actual Hasbro Legends questions and stuff.
Yeah, let's run through a few more of these super chats here.
We want to do a one on and one off, do some questions, and still run through the news a little bit though. It'd be nice to get these guys' take on new stuff.
I think so. Did you guys see Ryan? Since you're a Transformers fan, what'd you think of the new Transformers movie trailer?
It looks cool, but I actually didn't watch Beast Wars, because that was a couple of cartoon iterations after. So I don't know. I geeked out over the Mirage kind of bit because I know the G1 character. So when he did the whole hologram thing, I was nerding out about that.
Can't believe you didn't watch Beast Wars. That was my jam early morning.
That was late 90s, right? Or mid 90s.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Beast Wars is a thing where if you were a little too old, there was no way you could get over that animation style. And if you were just young enough to be like, oh, I don't care, Optimus Prime's a gorilla, I'm watching that.
Right.
Who cares about the CGI? It could look as ugly as Reboot. I'll watch it.
Yeah. I love Beast Wars, man.
Yeah, I had a real Berenstain Bear moment with Optimus growing up. I grew up with Beast Wars, and then I heard Optimus Prime for the first time, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be Optimus Primal. What the heck's going on?
Primal.
Blasphemous.
Yeah.
Jesus, man.
I don't know anything about Beast Wars, but I went to the director of Transformers right after it, and I'm like, whoa, what's going on here? I'm like, I know he's the, you got an ape, and then you got Optimus, and then you have a Porsche's Mirage. I'm like, what's going on here, man? You're killing me because I don't understand anything. And he had to sit me down and say, it's okay, moron. Let me explain some things to you. Yeah.
I didn't understand why they used the Biggie song like that. So that was like my first question. I was like, oh, interesting. So I was like, okay, let's go with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's funny that we start to like slowly see like the newer generation start to take over those departments. Like we randomly had the
Yeah.
trailer of the first Sonic have Gangster's Paradise, and you're like, what's going on here? Like, this is a kids movie? What's Gangster's Paradise? And then we got Biggie with Transformers.
Yeah, that's wild. You guys gonna check out Avatar this weekend?
No.
Crickets.
I've never,
Crickets, yes.
you can throw me under a bus if you want. I've never seen the first one.
Oh, you're missing out on nothing.
Why?
Giant blue people don't do anything for me. So it's like I will say the part of Universal Studios is that where Pandora is in Disney World?
Mm-hmm.
It's Animal Kingdom, right?
Okay, so sorry. Yeah, I think you're right. That was spectacular, and that ride where you get on the back of a banshee and you're flying around the roller coaster kind of whatever 4D thing blah 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 was freaking amazing. But I don't know. Apparently, I'm prejudiced against tall blue things, so I'm like I'm good.
Rick,
Man,
what did
no
you say your
wonder
friend
Cookie
said?
Monster didn't get. No wonder Cookie Monster didn't get funded, man. We got this guy behind the scenes. They're trashing this guy.
Yeah, my
Hey, guys, I have
friend
to go-
supposedly
I have to
got
go,
tickets.
Oh, he says he's gonna
And
go.
I was supposed to go, I guess, this weekend. I'm not sure if it's still happening, but this is my buddy who took me to see Shang-Chi in like the 4DX, where it was like
Oh, no.
watching the movie on a roller coaster.
Foreign fluids.
Way
Oh,
too
sir.
much going on. So if he got the tickets for Avatar, I can only imagine I'll also be watching it from the back of a banshee.
My coworker saw it
Hold
last
on,
night.
Ryan was saying something.
Yeah, sorry, just jump in, guys. I have to actually run now. The fam is back, but thank you for having us. We appreciate your guys' content as always. I'll leave, and then Dan can go get dessert, and you can hit Dwight with all those questions in the super chat. Dwight, you'll be good to battle us.
We'll
You're really leaving this man alone right now. It's all right.
All right, real quick before
But,
you go, though, Ryan, one thing you looking forward to 2023? Something that maybe we've already seen, but that you are really excited to get out for the fans to have in hand. Just anything about 2023 that you are really looking forward to in terms of Marvel Legends.
I'm looking forward to our fall program. You guys know we've been doing this every year. So this past year it was Spider-Man 60th. So we've got another one kind of in partnership coming with Marvel. So that'll be coming out in the fall, but we'll be doing some pre-orders and reveals in the springtime. And so that's something off the top of my head. And, Dan and I are dealing, and Dwight are with the constant kind of HasLab next steps. HasLab is a very exciting platform. Transformers team just killed it. And so we're always, trying to learn and go on to the next one. And hopefully that one will be a success. So I'll just leave it at that.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for coming on. Enjoy the rest of
Thank
your
you, guys.
Thank you, Ryan.
Happy holidays, boss.
All
Peace
right.
out.
buddy.
He did.
Happy holidays, everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I mean, I got a lot of that fall collection right here, Dan. Should I just start pulling these
Oh.
down?
No.
There's a little button down there, right? It looks like a screen. It's got an arrow kind of dashing forward. Go ahead and click that.
Right. We want
Yeah,
to
we
read
can get into a
couple
few more questions too. We
yeah.
got some super chats we got to catch up on, and since we were talking soccer, it makes sense. Nick Figs hit us with 199 super chat saying confirmed Marvel Legends Messi.
Oh baby.
If you guys can figure out how to align those stars, I will be first in line to make that action figure.
Oh, well, you know what? Maybe not Marvel, but isn't he in Fortnite? What are we doing here? We
He's
should be making
just
some
showed up
calls.
in Call of Duty. He's in Call of Duty right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I'm see this is my weird stupid human brain. I'm like, I want to buy the skin, but I don't want to support him in a way that's going to jinx things for Sunday. So I don't know if that helps me or hurts me, because somehow in my stupid reptile brain, I feel like, the clothes I wear are going to matter on whether they win or not on Sunday. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if buying a skin for a video game pre-game is going to hurt or help. So these are the
like a
things that go
true
through my
sports
stupid
fan.
brain.
I was just about to say only a sports fan would understand, and I'm the same way. Every single time I've bought in a Raiders jersey, the player has shit the bed on us every time. So I've only bought two in my entire 30 years of being a Rage fan. I've only bought two jerseys, and I never will again. I'm not gonna until they retire.
That's a
won't buy
very
again.
real concern, because if you buy the skin and you do poorly in the game, and then he does poorly in the real game, then it is your fault.
Yeah,
Exactly.
If I buy the skin, I go into the first round and I get my head blown off before anything even happens. It's just kind of like, oh well, that's not good.
It's a sign. It's a
It
sign.
is. So I'm not doing it. I don't know. Maybe I'll just wait for the end of the game and hopefully that I'm celebrating and I'm jumping around like a complete idiot in my living room, or I'll be crying in the sofa. It'll go either way.
Just wear your hat inside out.
Exactly. Rally hat, rally cap.
Counters all the negativity. What would you like to see? I mean, I don't know if it'll happen, but starting lineup do some soccer would be fun, huh?
Oh yeah, I'd be all into that for sure. I would love. Yeah, I could name a half dozen players I'd love to get in toy form in soccer and starting lineups. That'd be really cool.
I could see that being their biggest seller if they do soccer figures. I could see that really taking off.
But only for the trading cards. Bean 2099 also hit us with 10, saying happy holidays all. Thank you to the A.C.B.A. crew and the Marvel Legends team for all that you do. Also, 2099 characters. Need them. Ho, ho, ho.
Oh, yeah.
Very
a
brand suggestion from Bean 2099.
I want to get 2099 Ghost Rider out there on his weird bike, because I think that's such a cool, odd version of Ghost Rider. I like the female Captain America from that run. I love the ginormously monstrous Hulk. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff in that world that we've only just dipped our toes into. So, and hey, we just got a new trailer with 2099 in it. So, hopefully that'll spark some more interest for it, and maybe we can do some more stuff. Spinning off of the obviously the super success that movie is going to be. Is that a year from now? When's that one come out, Dan?
Coming out next year.
Next year. Okay.
Yeah,
That's
obviously you guys can't can't get into what we've seen over the past week, but clearly there are some plans for Marvel Legends and in terms of the new movie. So, but I guess that's part of our little news bit. This past week we did see some leaked images of what looks to be Across the Spider-Verse figures, which all seem to have very unique sculpts. Something kind of different. Well, not really different. I guess you guys did do really unique sculpts for the figures that have already come out for Into the Spider-Verse. Do you guys have a timeline maybe for when those might be finished? The first movie, I mean. Are there any plans for Tony Parker, Spider-Bot?
From Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, we're always, it's sometimes it's harder to go back because there's so much new news coming forward all the time. But as you guys saw from this year, we were able to go back and do a Spider Noir for the Spider program. So, when the stars align and we have an opportunity to, once the movies come out and you kind of see, there's always, something that has a breakout moment that we didn't, know about or anticipate. So there's don't be too bummed out if the characters that you fall in love with aren't there in the initial lineups. When we get around to those things, because there's always an opportunity to go back and visit them. We just have to find the right entertainment beat or the anniversary program to tie them to. But like I said, we just had that awesome Spider program this fall, and we threw a brand new, or not brand new, but a lot of new to make that awesome noir figure there. So that gives you one more from the initial team there. So I'd love to do SPDR and Penny as well. So stay tuned. Let's hope we can get to them.
We saw that the Jim Lee X-Men, those costumes, the 2-3 packs, and Blob went up for pre-order. But you give us a little insight into the process for Blob. How closely did you look at the original Blob that you guys did and really try to top that?
Yeah, we had the original Blob was on the desk next to me when we were working on this new one. They're about the same height, so I know we haven't shown comparisons of them next to each other, but they're about the same scale as the 2007 Build-A-Figures for those in fandom who were wondering. So he's big, he's properly huge. We just wanted to go with something a little bit more classic, not so cellulite-ish and gross like the old one was. And Freddy's had a few different kind of looks, but we thought that the costume we picked was his most kind of iconic look, or at least up there. Because I think it was either between the one we chose or the one with like almost no color on it, the straight up kind of black, just Andre the Giant kind of suit with the belt. So we thought this one had a little bit more flash with the extra bits of yellow accents, and I think he's going to be awesome. The alternate hands, the alternate head, all kind of make him a step above what we did back in the day as a Build-A-Figure, and now you don't need to worry about hunting across 6 or 7 figures to complete him. You can get him just in one box at a much more consumable price than the last one, which would have to be bought across an entire wave to be a Build-A-Figure.
Yeah, I think the last one you needed like 8 figures or something to complete them on top of that too. So there's been a lot of back and forth, and people just kind of, some people are happy, some people see it the way that you just explained it, as far as being able to get a Build-A-Figure sized figure in one shot and not have to buy 6 to 8 figures to do that. But I think that the main point of contention is just the fact that people want more packed in with these deluxe figures, and also I guess kind of like the difference in pricing. Whereas the Blob, I think it was like just under $60, which was more than MODOK was, I believe. But MODOK seems like you got more. Seems like it was a heftier figure. Are you guys just really still, going back and forth with what you can add, what you can do? Is there still like these little mini wars that you guys are having in terms of the budget for these things, or what's the deal with that?
Yeah, I don't think we could really get into the weeds of it, just being transparent with you. But, and I think, last time we talked, Boog, Ryan was trying to explain this too, but for us, the costs to make figures has drastically gone up, and therefore we have had to, accordingly, within what we can control, do the best we can. You know what I mean? And so I know I've seen all your videos too about how you want more heads and hands and accessories and things of that nature. And I just want everyone to understand that, like, even if we have a price increase, the price increase is to cover the cost just for what you're seeing already. So if you want more heads and hands, hypothetically, the price would also go up even more. So that's just like the parameters that we live in right now. We just are still, after the global pandemic, we had a lot of different factors that go into what the cost of making a figure is. So, yeah.
I think, I mean, I'm not really expecting you guys to chime in on this point, but I think a lot of our viewers and a lot of collectors need to understand too that there's also the cost of licensing and stuff like that that plays into the overall cost for the Marvel Legends team in particular that may not play in for say GI Joe and stuff like that. So I do get that. I understand that. Um, but there's a lot of people that are being priced out of the hobby. I think right now. I think that it's pretty much safe to say that Marvel Legends has kind of crossed over, and they're now an adult collector line. Do you guys feel that way too, or you feel like you still the target audience is still kids, or not really?
It's a combination of both, as in like, from what we see from our studies and our data, uh, there are still actual. I know from our communities and our echo chambers that we live in, like it doesn't seem to make sense of who collects, right? But there are a lot of kids also that do purchase or play with Marvel Legends at the end recipient level. So it's a mix of both. Obviously, the most passionate fans are, people in A.C.B.A. or adult collectors, and we always want to be cognizant of that. We also want to be cognizant of new collectors who might not have been into uh, action figure collecting, and or some other kid that saw a new MCU film and got into this hobby as well. You know what I mean? So there's always a delicate balance that we need to like get into. I know from like communities that we're a part of, it's easy to assume that everything should be geared towards us in our age group and that kind of thing, but from what we see, there is a combination of different demographics that collect our stuff as well.
Yeah, 10 years ago, we were making the product for that 20 something to 40 something, male demographic, but over the last 10 years with the growth of the MCU, with new platforms like Disney Plus that has all these films on it that you can watch now at any time whenever you want. The eyes aren't just that previous demographic that's seeing Marvel that all fell in love with it because we fell in love with old animations or old comic books, or old movies. Now it's like there's just so many more eyes on it, and which is a good thing. It allows us to make product for an even bigger, more diverse audience. And I think you know what I'd like the adult community to know is while everything's branded Marvel Legends, and while we hope you love everything we do, not everything we make is going to be specifically meant for you. If you missed it, great. But if not, there's a whole different generation that's getting into it, like I said, because of all these other ways that they can view it now. And they might not have those figures of 5 years ago or 10 years ago because they weren't collecting or they weren't old enough, but now they are, and they might be falling in love with these characters in a different timeline than we would have. So, we like to make sure that we're having things out there that they can get a hold of too, to give them their, classic Iron Man type figures. And obviously we do a lot of Iron Man, right? But with Tony Stark's journey, for now being over in the MCU, we probably won't be doing as many of them anymore. But if you're watching the stuff on streaming, he's still super, super important, and you're going to want to have him on your shelf. So that's what we try to find a balance to keep those things going.
A lot of times the movie figures, they have like a lot of new scopes, new parts, and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys can answer this, but is there a different budget for movie figures as opposed to the regular like comic based figures, or is it all kind of within the same realm?
We can't really get into what's in our budget or budgets in general, Boog.
Okay, I know,
You're not a rookie, you know that, man.
No, I know. I'm just always trying to, You're around the edge there. um, I got an interesting idea from somebody. They were saying, what if you guys did like larger figures, like a Galactus, but within like the 5 inch or 6 inch scale, that would basically be like a Marvel Legends sort of like kaiju style line where people could scale those figures that are meant to be huge, but with like little Tamashi buildings and little miniature HO scaled stuff and stuff like that. Would you guys you ever thought about something like that? I mean,
I
that would
think
be
that
a way
sounds.
for somebody who didn't get a HasLab Galactus to still get a nice detailed Galactus and still do some nice displays and stuff.
Yeah, no, I haven't put a lot of thought towards that. We're always looking at other ways to collect Marvel in our fan business, whether that's in Marvel Legends 6 inch proper or other. But that's a fun concept. I mean, the kaiju kind of battle is something that we've always, you know, imagined in Marvel. It's just is there enough people out there who would want to buy into a whole new scale or world to collect? Because if you start down that path, I mean, there was eras that we had a lot of success with 3 and 3/4 inch and 6 inch, and then we did some 12 inch and so on and so forth. But I think you just have to kind of weigh, is the audience out there big enough to support the investment of doing something like that, that's starting over with a lot of money that would be required to tool that. And if we made something like that, you'd have to understand that the 6 inch Legends line would have to be balanced accordingly, because some of the money would be going over here, or the retro 3 and 3/4 inch, or et cetera, et cetera. It's like as much as we want to make everything, you can't do everything all at once, and you kind of have to figure out what are the best bets for the biggest return, and to make the fandom as happy as possible.
Yeah, one thing I always wonder too is there a lot of collaboration with you and other different lines under the Marvel umbrella? Because it's kind of nice sometimes that you guys don't make certain figures for certain movies, but like a much lesser, like expensive toy line kind of has a placeholder for you. Like that one time for that Thor movie where we didn't get the destroyer from you guys from the film, but that there was that one toy line that had one that had like 5 points of articulation that really didn't do much, but like kind of was a cool placeholder. And same for Into the Spider-Verse too. You guys didn't get to do the Scorpion, but there was that like kids toy of the Scorpion where you're just like, oh, I'll just throw it on the shelf because it's kind of close. Like, is there collaboration sometime, or like, or maybe not even collaboration, but is there moments where you're like, oh man, I wish I could do the Scorpion, and then you go, oh well, the kids toy line is doing it and it's kind of close. Like, I guess it's okay that we missed it this time around, or does like that ever happen often?
Oh yeah, I mean we work right next to the core kid
Chris.
team, and they got to make the Great Protector from Shang-Chi as well, right? It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
that
yeah.
it was a pretty decent sized dragon for what it was. And yeah, no, I do the same thing in my toy shelf in the basement. I have that eight that 8 inch scale destroyer in the back of
Yep.
my shelf, because I don't have the
Select one.
Marvel Select one,
Mhm.
or the previous one. So that's mine on my shelf. So that's what I have back there, and I feel that same way. Like there are things that kind of crossovers. There's accessories that I've stolen from our Marvel Universe 3 and 3/4 inch line to add some
Oh yeah.
extra things to. I think I have the casket of ancient winters that for my Loki figure that was part of that set.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, there's definitely we rob and steal from all of our partner brands around the building, as well as working with our teams, the kid team as well as the fan team, to figure out how we can deliver everything that we think is important for any given movie or television show, even if it's not all addressed in one or the other aisle. You know, we have Legends. We have the
thing,
ability to go a little bit deeper with characters, right?
Hmm.
You know, we can do a little bit deeper on the Disney Plus shows. We can add a little bit more variety that is harder to deliver in the kids line, where they want to focus on those one or two super A level awesome guys that every child walking out of a theater is going to be like, I want that guy. Not a lot of people, not a lot of kids walk out of the theater going, "Oh, I want that third guy that was in the lineup that sat in the background with the weird coat and the bandana over his eyes." But us as fans would say, "Yeah, no, I totally want that guy because he's awesome." So
Right.
Yeah, one cool thing I've seen people do is take the retro 375 Sentinel and put it with the Marvel Legends like arcade team.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's about the right size, right? It's
Yeah.
the video game scale.
Yeah, I can army build them a little bit. Yeah, that's fun.
Welcome to die.
I just saw that in store the other day for the first time. I didn't realize that it was that large. I mean, obviously it's still meant for the 3/4 inch figures, but yeah, it scales nicely with the Legends for sure.
Shout out to JB on that design. We don't really get to talk about the kid and preschool team members that much, so shout out to them a lot. Like they're a hardworking team, and they're part of our Gritter Hasbro Marvel portfolio, and yeah, they're good people. So shout out to all of them.
Are you guys like what Dwight? You said you guys are like right next door, so it's like the whole Marvel crew has like a floor in the Hasbro offices. Basically, is that how that works?
The design team is pretty much in a little wing where we have the pre-cool designer, two of our three kid designers, and me are all within 20 yards of each other. So, and right next to them is my boy Lenny on the GI Joe Classified team, and right next to him is the Transformers team. So we're all kind of mixed in a bay that we all kind of people walk by each offices and we're like, "Hey, dummy, get in here!" And you're like, "Look at this. Is this right? Did I hit everything, or what am I missing?" And I have Lenny come over my shoulder and smack me in the back of the head and say, "No, no, 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 not like that, like this." And vice versa. He'll like, "Hey, you'll be hear some voice yelling down the hall, get down here," and then you go down there and you're like helping them work on some of their problems or whatever their trouble is for the day, or we just steal from each other because we're just a bunch of bandits and we're like, whoa, 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 what did you do there? let me well, no, don't tell me, show me what you did. Open that file. And then you're like, oh, okay. And then you go back to your office and you try to sketch it up and you're like, yes, we can do that. And and maybe we can even make it better. So we're always trying to steal from each other to up our game. And that's the cool thing about having so many like-minded weirdos in Hasbro that all love this kind of stuff, whether it's Marvel, Star Wars, Transformers, GI Joe, Power Rangers, Nerf, etc., board games, Magic, all that stuff. It's like having all those types of creatives. It's just that all come at things from a slightly different point of view, and there's a lot of passion and knowledge in that building, which is really fun to tap into, that I think has led to us being able to make figures as high quality as they are. And hopefully you guys think and can appreciate the improvements that we try to put into them over the course of the years as the line evolves.
I just want to point out though, like while they're having all this fun, they're behind this locked door, and like there's like a hallway, and then on the other side of the hallway, they keep all the marketers like in these fucking cubicles that are like, it's like District 9. We call it District 9. And so it's like all the marketers are just like on their Excels and PowerPoints, and we don't get to hear or see any of this like awesome stuff from the engineering and design team and the development team. And so we're all doing like stuff, but the funny thing is in the cubicle side in District 9, it's like you can always tell where it's the Marvel side, because it's like Brian like hoards like a crap load of toys like Marvel Legends. Like he has like stacks and stacks of Marvel Legends, and so you could always figure out where like Marvel Legends stuff is. And I work mostly remote now, but like sometimes I used to, when I was in District 9, I would be like the loudest one there. Like I would stand up and on top of my desk to be like, yo, like I talk shit to like Star Wars and like G.I. Joe and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's
But
what I was
like
going to ask you. I was going to ask you guys, how's it been in terms of going into the office? Since things have calmed down in terms of COVID, are you guys going in like 3 times a week, or how does that work?
Yeah, we're in the office every week for a few days. You need to do that because you can't slap your buddy in the nuts through a text as easily as when he
Right.
comes out of your office next to you.
Yeah.
So it's just smack him in the back of the head or throw or shoot him in the side of the face with a Nerf gun when he walks by your office. I mean, these are the things you got to be in person to really appreciate the setup of arming your office with 3 or 4 coworkers with rifles and coaxing your friend to come down the hall to open your door at the right moment to shoot him, in every part of his body all at one, moment in time. It's like you can't do that over the internet. So you got to be in person to be a real genuine asshole. And that's what's nice to be back at the office. It's
That's
like,
the kind of excitement that the marketing bullpen needs. If somebody needs to throw a Febreze grenade, you ever done one of those? You tie
it's
yeah,
the marketing side. So I'm very fortunate because I mostly work remotely. So I'm not as frequently in there as much as possible. But Ryan and the other marketers are there. I think Emily has the Emily on the G.I. Joe team has taken up the mantle of being like the entertainer in District 9. So I hear she's holding it down. I hear
Hell
she's
yeah.
holding it down.
Shout out to Emily, man. She always does a great job on those streams and stuff like that. Some of these
She's
trolls
killing it.
always gives her a
Oh.
hard time, but I love her energy. I love her, man.
Oh, she loves this stuff so much. It's like that's the thing. These live streams, these things they're tough, guys. It's like it's really tough to put people in front of a camera, and a lot of us have gotten better at over the years. But it's like when when we're like, oh no, we're gonna be doing what? We're doing live. What the hell's a live stream? Or we're it was new for all of us. So it's like you get some of those people online that talk smack about other teams and other team members and stuff.
Mhm.
And I know it's easy to do out of context. You see people up there and you're just like, oh, that person doesn't care about this shit. And it's like, I know people won't believe me, but it's like, it's not true, man. Some of the people genuinely care about this stuff so much from all of the disciplines, from design and marketing. You guys don't see our engineers very often, but they're all behind the scenes working so hard on this stuff, and they're so freaking passionate. And everybody's just different. Everybody's got a different personality. Everybody comes off on camera differently. And because of that, sometimes people get really bad raps, or they get a lot of unneeded crap thrown at them. But they love this stuff so much. They really do. And I understand that sometimes it doesn't come off on camera, but please don't misunderstand someone's personal awkwardness or not able to relate to a camera as well as they are to a person and face to face. It's not an apples to apples thing. So it's like sometimes when you're seeing comments from the different streams, it bothers me when you see people throwing shade at other people and like personal things, or and it's just like that's not fair, because it's not. I think the Marvel team is pretty natural. For the most part, we're awkward in our own unique ways, but I know it's not the same for everybody. So those are the things that kind of get me sometimes. It's just
I
kind of
mean,
like,
it's wild because we're talking about a bunch of other like nerds, like pot
Mhm.
calling the kettle black. Come on, like
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not everybody working at Hasbro can be Cleo Thomas,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah, it's hard to
Shout out
judge
to
a
Cleo though.
person's.
Cleo is all energy though. So
Oh man, he
shout out
brings
to
it.
Cleo. I think just piggyback off Dwight. Like our team is just fortunate to have you know so many people who are passionate about Marvel Legends. You know what I mean? Like Dwight, myself, and Ryan. We're actually super different too. Like our personalities and how we nerd out too. But I'm just very fortunate that I get to do live streams with those two because they're like OGs, right? And yeah, everybody in Hasbro though, like Dwight said, has so much love for the product that they put out, and I know it doesn't make every collector happy all the time, but just know that everybody in the background, given the parameters that we have, we always try to give our best, and we never try to like half-ass anything at all.
No doubt. We have any other questions down there from viewers?
I was gonna say also, you guys kind of also set the standard for how a lot of the other teams do their presentation. If there's anything that they, if all of this theft and larceny is going on behind the scenes, like Dwight suggests, it's definitely them taking your the streaming skills that you guys have for sure. You guys set the bar, and now you definitely start to see that back and forth going on.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
It's always good.
It's really interesting to hear that the live streaming stuff was like very new to you guys. What would you say is like the most important thing you've learned from when you started now and where you started and where you're at now, just in terms of like live streaming, getting in front of a camera, and dealing with that stuff live on air and stuff?
I'm sure Dan will have a point of view from marketing. I think for design, I don't think it's for everybody, but there is a large part of being a designer that means you also have to be a showman. You have to be able to put on a different hat and do a ridiculous song and dance sometimes to get your concept sold in. Like when I started, we were still using pen and paper, and I was still, I was still drawing stuff out, when I was doing inputs for my vehicles on G.I. Joe and my G.I. Joe characters. It's like, and from the beginning of my career, to where we're at now, it's like, I mean, I barely even sketch anymore, which is sad, but it's like I don't do what I fell in love with, which brought me here in the first place anymore. Now it's evolved into something else, and now it's about gathering the right information and being able to get that right information to the right people to translate things. And that's like that was a big master, evolution in my brain, saying I don't need to draw this stuff anymore. Not everything, it's like I can find the right reference, the right person to help create, to take my vision to reality. And that's the important bridge. It's like, it's not that I have to do it all myself. It's that I have the right pieces in the puzzle, from Dan and Ryan to Kristen and Tony in Model and Services, to Ben and Sean and everybody else in creative services, the whole team. And that's just a small piece. And then, our engineer, who must not be named, and, all of those people. It's like, there's so many people that all, when you put the right team together, it just makes everything so much better. And I think that's when you're a young designer, you're like, I got this. I don't need anybody. Let me show you how it's done. And now, as an old gray, piece of crap, it's like, I just need to be here to help make sure that the full team has what they need to keep moving everything together, and and to be that kind of like piece to help pull everything back and forth. And oh no, you gone too far here. Let's pull this back. This is what we need. And that's kind of you're a bit more of a puppet master than an actual doing everything. And then when you got to sit in front of you guys or a camera, which is really weird because it's so cold, and like, you guys have been doing this shit way longer than we have, right? I mean, the podcasting and all of that stuff has been out there for a long time before Hasbro got onto it, with with what happened with pandemic and everything, right? But prior to that, you guys were still doing these things every week for years. Mm-hmm. So you guys, way more natural than we are. So that's the thing. I guess you just never know what's going to come next. You got to be ready to evolve and change and accept things and know that you don't have all the answers. But if you trust your team and you trust the system, you can get there. At a pretty high level. And the quality of where the products are at today, as opposed to where they were 20 years ago when I started, it's night and day. So I'm really jealous of all these little punk kids that get to play with these most amazing action figures. And like, the stuff I played with was a freaking bar of soap that kind of looked like what I was imagining in my head. And I'm like, yeah, no, that's him. Hey, and you're just like, okay.
I was talking about that recently, about how, like, the collectors right now are kind of spoiled, and they don't even realize that we in such a golden era of collecting with all of these great sculpts and all of this variety, and like they sometimes get laser focused on the line that they, I guess, really collect the most or like the most or whatever, and can be like really critical of things. But like, I mean, overall, we are getting literally the best action figures that we've ever had in the history of humankind right now. Like, across all the lines. So it's a wonderful time to be a collector, man.
I think so. I think I have to say that because that's my job. But I agree with you.
There's just so much out there. It's obviously Hasbro, but a lot of every company has so much good stuff coming out. Everybody is making the best stuff that's ever been made. So it is hard to not spread yourself thin.
Agreed.
But I mean, like, honestly, like, again, and I know there are like very passionate fans, but our brand would be nothing without the end consumer, with the fans. So like, thank you to everybody who's been collecting and continues to push us to be even better. You know what I mean? And thank you to you guys as well. This A.C.B.A. community is what is a big contributing factor to what pushes us every day. So we appreciate you guys too.
And believe it or not, even though sometimes I want to reach through my phone and strangle all of you all, when you guys call us out on things in a constructive manner, I'll throw that caveat in there. When you constructively let us know what we can do better, or what we didn't do up to the level that you would have liked to have seen, it's helpful. It's like, I don't always read all the comments, but when you guys, when I get tagged or when someone sends me a message, it's like I do, when I'm just kind of vegging out, like just kind of flip through things. And if people are being polite and constructive, it's great to see their passion, come back as, asking questions or trying to let us know things that we could do better or look at things differently or whatever, because, we are an amazing team, I feel, and we put everything we have into these things, but we don't have all the answers, and we don't know all the lore or all the secret little hidden things. So, sometimes, I've found plenty of things over the last few years when people, tag you or ping you on Instagram or whatever else, and you're just like, oh no, I hadn't thought about that. That's very clever. I'll put that in the back of my brain, like try to remember that, the next time. And that's, you guys all help us do our jobs better. And you guys see that. I think you guys see that when we're together at the cons and stuff, when we actually can talk one-on-one, and it's not just a one-sided conversation like this. It's
it's funny. It's funny how people talk face to face versus online. That's all.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
We learned that very well this year.
This Ronin figure that we're about to get, I do like that you guys were able to build on that Colossus base. That is what his base is, right? The modern Colossus.
Yeah, modern Colossus's arms and legs, new torso, shoulders, head, and hammer. Skirt.
Yeah, I was a little surprised to see that there were no other hands or heads packed in with him, though. What happened there?
I mean, like, again, we have the parameters that we have for the entire portfolio, and so we have to look at it like when we do a reveal of an item. It's easy to criticize just like one individual item at a time, but the way we have to look at it is like throughout the entire year. And so we have to like find ways to fill holes throughout the entire year. And so we have to do the best we can with the parameters that we have in front of us. You know what I mean? Again, we like Dwight puts his heart and soul into every figure that he has, but we all have certain levels of parameters that we have to work with, basically.
Yeah, and basically what it means is you can't put everything in with every item as much as you might want to. If I would have put 3 heads with Ronin and 18 hands, that just means I would have had to take all of that stuff away from 3 other figures, down the line, because there's only one giant pool that we work with. So you know, there's often that we make more pieces that don't make it in every run. Sometimes we have to pull things out for costing. Sometimes we have to save things on the side, and hope to get back to them at a future release. Hopefully, we can sometimes bring things back with a strategic redeco if there's something that makes a lot of sense, and that way we can mix up the heads or add other pieces. And you know we get a lot of things about we want all of our Spider-Man to have like 6 or 8 hands, and you're like, yep, I hear you, I get that, but deco is really expensive right now. And if it's a webbed Spider-Man, that's you don't see it, but it's a ton of cost to paint all of those webbed hands. It's like if it was a black suited Spider-Man without the things on his hands. I'm making this up, and I'm not. This isn't quite true, but we could throw 20 hands in there because they're just molding the hands. There's no deco on them. Let's just say, you could do a lot more with that because you don't have the ludicrous amount of deco. But when you're painting web lines across all hands, insides, outs, backs, fronts, it takes up a lot more than you would think it does, and because of that, we just can't afford to put all those things with everything. Like Dan was saying, you kind of have to look at a balance, and you got it's Thanos, right? Everything is about balance, and that's kind of what we have to kind of figure out on these figures.
It's like you said earlier, where you like that we remind you or tell you things that we would want. It's kind of the same thing. It's easy for our perspective to just look at one thing and go, well, this should have had this and this should have had that. It's not easy for us to remember. Like there's a whole calendar year that you take into account, and it is good to get the reminder that it's not as simple as this should have had this hand, this should have had this hand, that there's more involved in that than just that one figure.
Absolutely, and it's not fair for that one consumer necessarily either. Like, what if Ronin is your shining star, right? What if that is your most favorite figure of your entire life, and you've been waiting 25 years to get him, and then you get him, and you're like, oh, but that Spider-Man that just came out has 6 hands, but I don't like Spider-Man. But Ronin doesn't have any. It's like those are the things, and I understand to that person it might not seem fair through a closed perspective, but if you can, like you said, if you can open those blinders a little bit and look at the whole, I think you get a little bit of a better picture. I'm sorry, Dan, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just gonna say that we also understand the feedback too. So like Dwight was saying, especially on the marketing side, my job with Ryan is to really be close to the ground with what the fan community wants, right, and hears. So we definitely hear the comments, and we try to address them as best as we possible with what we can do. And so just keep up that passion, and let us know, like Dwight was saying, respectfully, what you would like to see, and we will try to incorporate it as much as possible. It's just that, again, we have to think of things in terms of years and balancing things out. But we also would love to have an extra Ronin head, and other hands too. You know what I mean? Just as a collector, as collectors ourselves, we understand the frustration too.
I mean, I want to throw everything I possibly can in there, and often I go too far, and my engineer looks at me and he's just like, "What are you doing, dummy? Come on, you're killing me." And you're like, "Come on, no, we can find it, right? We can make this work." And sometimes, begrudgingly, we figure out a way to pull things and get them out there. And then other times there's just like, it's like, no, that's got to go. And you're just like, oh, I'm going to be sad. And like, yeah, you'll get over it. Go have a Mountain Dew and go have a cracker and calm down. And we walk over there and we have a snack, and then we move on. So, and trust me, I do try to put as much in, and we make a lot of stuff that sometimes falls on the cutting room floor. But by no means am I infallible. You guys know that better than most. I make plenty of mistakes. There's, from missing a deco thing here or there or whatever else, but we we do try our best, and and when we miss something, we're usually pretty. I think our team is pretty honest with you guys and saying, yeah, I screwed up. I'm sorry. I don't. We're not much of oh well, there was things that we couldn't foresee. It's like we're pretty honest with you guys. Where we can't tell you everything because we're not allowed to, but what we're allowed to say, we pretty much we we're not very good poker players. We pretty much just wear our hearts on our sleeves and we tell you as straight up as we can as much as we can.
That's a great segue for one of the super chats we got a little earlier from Blake Quammen, who's just sharing his appreciation for the Legends team, for the relationship between the collector and the toy company that really has gotten stronger over the years, and it's revolutionized this hobby. So credit to both of you, he says.
Thank you. Thank you very
Blake.
much.
I had somebody talking about the Daredevil that we just got from that 3-pack, which is great. Definitely the best Marvel Legends Daredevil that we have so far. He's on the Renew Your Vows Spidey Buck, right? With the toe joints and everything. I do see people already asking for that same level of articulation, but just maybe a broader chest, shoulders for that buck, or for maybe a new buck that just has a little broader chest area.
Yeah, but we're looking right now at taking Vulcan and adding that kind of super articulation to that type of a body. So you would have that little bit bigger, bulkier body. We don't have a place for it yet, and that body type is a little bit more expensive, so we can't use it everywhere as often as we would like to. Plus capacity issues, which we've talked about over the years. But we are planning on developing a larger scale, super articulated buck, so you don't have to just be settling on the more slender guys. And you'll see that body used on more characters going forward. The Renew Your Vows one, definitely, but we are also working on a slightly bigger version to get that next step in the in evolution as well. So we can, if this wasn't quite right for this time, maybe it'll look better a year or so down the line, if we can revisit those characters. And Daredevil's not going anywhere. We're getting a lot of awesomeness coming from him on Disney, Disney Plus sometime in the future. So we know we got more Daredevil coming, and that'll be awesome. So
all right, that's what's up. Basically they were saying exactly what you were saying as far as just that little bit more articulation on a Vulcan size buck, basically. But again, I think the Vulcan buck and the that Renew Your Vows Spidey buck are both very good for Marvel Legends and could definitely be used on a lot of different characters.
To get into a super chat real quick too, because I was gonna follow this up with what we were talking about earlier too. But Mike Hawes is saying with a $5 super chat, thank you, Mike. Saying, is there a chance of maybe cutting a line out and putting that budget into more accessories for other lines? And I was gonna follow it up by asking also, like, is it possible, to get one less wave and then put that budget for that, what would be that wave, into other accessories for other waves?
Yeah, so we can't get into the details, honestly, about like how we make those decisions about, how many waves or items like that.
Okay.
So we gotta we can't tell you that much. But just know that like we're always evaluating different ways to try to make sure that that not only do we stay competitive with our competitors too, but also we want to put out the best stuff possible too. So we're always trying to evaluate things based on what we can work with. And so yeah, but I can't directly answer that question right now.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I just wanted to give you a flag real quick. I got to jump in a couple of minutes, so if there was
and we almost here at the top of the hour, so we should just run through some more super chats or questions or whatever from the crew.
Hold on, there's one question I've been wanting to ask these guys since the beginning of the pandemic.
Oh man,
I don't know if it's Hasbro or if it's the store. I'm gonna name the retailer. I don't know if it's at this store. I don't know if it's Target or if it's you as the company. But why do they keep getting full character cases? Is that a decision they're making when they're ordering through you, or is that a decision you're making for them? It's like super frustrating that I'll have like 2 or 3 stores that only have one character wave like at each store, and I don't understand like the reasoning behind it. And if there is one, like, could you elaborate on why that happens to be the case?
Yeah, so we don't want to throw that store under the bus or anything like that, right? It's a decision that goes both ways, I think.
Okay.
That specific retailer believes in a certain strategy, and so we always talk through the pros and cons of every business kind of strategy and differentiating kind of thing. And so yeah, that's something I know some fans find that very frustrating, let's say, right? But for other fans, let's say if they only get like one case pack, right? And if it's like Symbiote Spider-Man, right? Like for that retailer, they might think that they might get more purchases through like an A character like Symbiote Spider-Man, let's say hypothetically, in that case pack, and it's a better ROI for them, let's say, than a full assortment. If that makes sense.
Yeah,
But,
they feel like it's also like, I'm sure, more of a consistency thing, I guess, where customers know that one is there. And I guess it does make sense, but I just always wondered, because when it first happened, I think we all as a community were like, this is a mistake, like this can't be how it's going. But to know that it's like strategically done that way, always wondered.
Yeah.
All right. Enough softballs. Let's get into the real meat and potatoes. Here we go. Blake Quammen, $1.99. Better animated movie, G.I. Joe or Transformers?
Oh
G.I. Joe.
my God.
G.I. Joe. Now, are you talking the G.I. Joe movie from the 80s? Are you talking G.I. Joe Resolute?
Yeah.
G.I. Joe Resolute is fire, but still, 1987 G.I. Joe, I literally just watched that like 2 weekends ago again.
Sergeant Slaughter, Globulus, Duke getting stabbed by flying Cobra. Yep. Come on, man. Serpentor. Yep. Come on.
I only like the first
That's crispy.
The first 2 acts of the Transformers movie. They kind of lose me when they go off planet. I don't really like the movie that much after that, honestly.
Well, that movie lost everyone in the theater in 1986 when Optimus Prime died. Spoiler.
Yeah.
It made everybody pissed off.
Yeah. Too soon.
I read somewhere. Where did I see that? That they decided not to kill Duke off based on some of the reaction from Optimus Prime. Like, he was supposed to die when he got impaled with the Serpentor or snake or whatever, but they decided not to do that or something like that. I don't know how true that is, but I read that recently.
I heard that too. I don't know if that's just mythology now, or if that was actually ever the thing. I don't know. It was before my time, but I
heard that from Dan Larson, so he's always making stuff up.
Oh, okay. He's always making stuff up. Fucking crazy. All right. We got any final questions for the boys before they get up out of here? It's 10 o'clock.
Let's see.
My bad, guys. My lady's texting me right now. So
all right, that's all good.
But happy holidays, guys, and thank you so much to everybody. Like, you guys always put the pressure on us, Boog. So thank you, appreciate that.
We didn't want to put too much pressure on you tonight, though. We were just trying to kick it. So I hope that came across. That we just want to kick it with you guys for a little while. We are going to get something on the 20th, though, right?
Yes, there is definitely going to be some news on the 20th. It will be the last 20th of the month for this year. So thank you guys for making Marvel Legends 20 years as an action figure brand. I think that's quite an accomplishment. Shout out to Dwight over here for being the OG there, and thank you guys again for everything. And I hope everybody has an awesome holidays. All right.
To you, man. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate you, man.
All right, Dan. Thank you. Get the Godiva cheesecake. It's incredible.
Yeah, we'll do. Peace.
Peace.
Flower.
Dwight, before you get out of here, what's 2023 looking like in terms of what you're really excited for us to see? Some type of hint that you could give us that you're excited for the fans to see. We saw you guys' little tease on that last live stream.
Yep. You got some teases with a golf club, which no one's been able to figure out just yet.
You can tell us right now.
And
the community is stumped for sure.
So we always like we like to end something with a little tease just to give you guys a little look at something, and it's fun from my opinion, I've always thought it was fun to not know everything. If you knew everything all the time, you have nothing left to look forward to. So it's nice to have some teases just to kind of ponder over, and especially when we can throw something out there that you guys don't figure out in the first couple of days. It's like, keep guessing, morons.
Yeah, the golf club has probably been one of the most difficult ones that you guys put out for sure.
Yeah, the amount
I think it's TMNT crossing over with another brand.
There you go.
the amount of screenshots of comic book panels where like for a second you see a golf club. It's like it's this.
I like I saw one with over the weekend with Taskmaster with out on the green with a golf club. So
yeah.
Shout
out to my man Nick. He actually sent me that picture right after the stream. He was like, I don't know if it's this, but
so
we had
that's a good guess.
Go ahead.
Oh, it's okay. No, that's a good guess. And I think the most exciting thing that I'm working now is the next HasLab. So I look forward to revealing that with you guys in the near future. And
all right.
Hopefully you guys will fall in love with the next one too.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So HasLab, that's what you're looking forward to this year. I'm down with that. Obviously we didn't get the Engine of Vengeance, but hopefully you guys could double back to that in some way, shape, or form. Have you guys been paying attention to some of this third-party stuff?
Yeah. I've seen a lot about Noise. It's amazing how all of that stuff popped up right after. So it's like it's sad that it didn't get there, but it was a lot of hard work it went into it, and I don't know how or when we'd revisit that, but that iteration will probably never come to pass, but there doesn't mean that there's not an opportunity to find a home for those types of things down the line.
That's
If they show up in entertainment or what have you. It's like, the rules that we were given to create that item at that point in time were what they were. But as you guys have known over the years of us working with our amazing partners at Disney and Marvel, that things aren't always, stationary. Things move, things change, things evolve, and the rules that were set at one point in time sometimes aren't, a few years down the line. So, who knows where we'll end up? It's like there's no plans for any of that stuff now, and we're moving on to the next one, and we hope we'll win you guys over with something amazing in 2023.
That's crispy.
Well, when I bumped into to Jesse at New York Comic Con, was saying, we'll try again. So hopefully that's true.
Absolutely, man. There's no quitting this team. It's like, you can kick our teeth in, you can knock us down, but we're going to pick ourselves back up, dust ourselves off, and keep moving forward, because that's the only way to be, man.
Man, toy design is a full contact sport, huh?
Really. It's surprisingly, yes.
Shane Shooter had a $5 super chat with a great suggestion here. 2024 is the anniversary of a certain special Canadian. Could we possibly get the same excellent treatment that Spidey got this year? Maybe those special toes?
A special excellent treatment.
Oh, see?
No joints for everyone in 2024.
Oh man, Shartimus Prime is drooling somewhere in the distance of the Bay Area.
Some nice articulated patas.
Wow.
All right, Dwight.
All right, boys. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for having us all on. It was awesome to talk with you guys.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, Dwight. Thanks for coming on.
All right.
Thank you, man. Yeah, absolutely.
All that good stuff.
All right, guys. You guys have a great holiday season. eat a lot, stay healthy, and onward. Let's wrap this this crazy ass year up and move on to the next one.
That's right. All right, Dwight.
All right,
Peace.
thanks, Dwight.
Bye, guys.
Peace,
Good
buddy.
night.
All right. That was
All right.
the Marvel Legends Big 3. We had them all on at one time. That was great. Yeah. We talked. You said what? Your cat. What happened with your cat?
No, I said what a get. Somebody mentioned that earlier. A lot of people were bugging because they were all three here. That's great.
Yeah. That was great.
You have 3 cats?
I
my
especially liked their humble beginnings. That was interesting to hear how all of
Yeah,
them
absolutely.
came up.
That's crispy.
That was interesting. All right, we want to talk news real quick.
We can talk
All
some
right.
news. Let's talk some news.
Yeah. All right, we got some
In
news to talk about, huh? What could it be?
Instamashi is doing Jump Festa right now, and they just revealed
I know.
that Kenjaku figure. They just revealed that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
there's a ton
Jujutsu
of exclusive
Kaisen.
stuff.
What?
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot right now just because of Jump Festa, I think.
Yeah, Jump Festa 2023. It's happening
Is
right
that
now.
Dusty?
Yeah, Dusty's looking.
Oh yeah, I've seen some good pictures.
These fucking Crimson Guards, though, man. I can't get over how fucking nice these are.
I've been texting everybody that I know because I opened that Constantine and it's blowing my mind.
Yeah, Constantine is very nice.
Anyway,
All right, well, hey, you know what, Fabio, you earned it. You've been killing it lately. Let's just go right into Mezco, baby. Let's talk.
All right, let's see.
Let's get it out of the way.
God, it is Christmas.
All right, let's go. Let's talk. The
All right,
music's
what do you guys
playing.
want to talk about, Mez? Because we missed 2 weeks, right?
You
So
tell
let's-
me.
Oh,
Well,
my God.
All right, well, sound the music. Damn it.
It's
We
been
don't want to
playing.
talk about anything. We
Oh my
just-
God!
we just
First of
love
all,
you.
big dick energy in
We
the
want to
mix.
talk about shit with you. What'd you say?
That big dick energy in the mix.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
This
So
is a
yes,
crazy image. First
after-
of all, first and foremost,
Excuse me. You like this image?
wild.
It's art is subjective, as they were saying. You know.
True. In the eye of the beholder, huh?
Yes. So what we have here is well, this was teased back at one of the cons. I think it was the Toys Fair back in 2021, and it hasn't been up for pre-order since. We've only had that one teaser finally, and we kind of already knew it was going to be this from the initial teaser, but it is a 2-pack, a box set of Big Dick Energy Tracy with flat top, classic
is.
Dick Tracy villain. Look at that. Got a flat top head.
What
Killer unibrow.
what an ugly fellow.
Yeah.
This
I'll
is
go of the
absolutely
year.
hideous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's a bit of a no-go for sure.
I love the green overcoat though.
Yeah, the green overcoat's fire. Look at this.
Oh,
Oh, look at that. About to stroll up into the gala.
You know,
God.
if they keep that head size for Dick Tracy, all I see is fucking all I hear is Patrick Warburton.
Yeah, he does look like he has that.
Hey,
voice.
flat top.
Listen here, buddy. You better raise those hands up in the air. You're under arrest.
Yeah, that's all I'm seeing, man.
What you think they're
You're
doing
under
for these
arrest,
bodies?
creep.
What you think they're doing for these bodies? And yo, my bad. I said my boy Nick had sent me that picture of Taskmaster with the golf club. It was my boy Reed, who has been in the Marvel Legends community and part of the community since the very beginning, since he was literally a kid.
No.
But yeah, what do you think about these bodies? What
Well,
do you
I
think
can't.
these are going to be?
It might be a combination of, or it could just be the Superman body, like the Chris Reeve Superman. They've used that a couple times again. But I just got the Constantine in hand now, and this is an all new, like more slim, sort of suited body, and it has double jointed elbows now. So it could be this new, might be the same body, but just with new arms or whatever. But you know, he can get up in there. So
I don't
maybe
know.
it could be that. But if they're trying to beef him up, probably the Superman.
I don't know how up
I don't
there-
think it would be the Constantine body for Tracy. Maybe
No.
for Flat Top.
For flat top, yeah, I could see it.
Well, you know what? You know what that flat top kind of looks like to me? I don't know how up to date you are, Fabio. I know you're
Oh,
a man that doesn't like spoilers, but
okay.
people have been taking apart Teddy, and they're saying that that's a new mold.
Yeah, we could kind of glean that, but no, that's cool. Maybe they are using it for this to get that even more slender sort of look.
Yeah, he's looking
Different
mighty
arms.
slender with this pea coat.
Yeah, that's hard to tell when it's in the coat like that. They should have had it like this, so we
Yeah,
can really see the body a little better.
That's funny that he's uncoated, and then the other one is in a coat.
Yeah,
It
it is the feature, just trench coat. That's it.
Horse jacket looking a little loose.
Yeah, maybe.
A little loose.
What I'm
Closer.
kind of pumped about is to put the Bruce Wayne head, maybe the Golden Age Bruce Wayne head on this.
Yeah,
and boom.
absolutely. The first
You
thing
got
I thought of.
They both got big heads too, so it'll match.
Exactly. Or
I
maybe
didn't
Golden Age
even think
Superman.
about that. You know what's funny is I've been looking at these. I looked at this stuff, but like I don't know what it is. It must be your fairy dust coming off of you and shit. Looking at this, I do kind of maybe want this now. I don't know.
It's just
Which
weird
one?
enough for you to kind of
Tracy?
want to
Yeah.
fuck with it.
Yeah,
It's just
There's
weird
a lot to
enough.
fuck with. Hey, there's another cop in Gordon's police department. Look, he's even got a mug. Cops
yeah,
have
you
mugs.
can't get those anywhere else.
No, and Mezco provides. You see. I also like that they gave him a different Tommy gun than the one we've had with the the Double Trouble 2-pack and Doc Nocturnal. So that's fun.
see.
A different Thompson submachine gun. You see. The watch has its own little effect. Flat top probably is it's still a good amount of accessories actually, and I like how they're doing the gun case as like a guitar case. So cool. Love that. That's up for pre-order still.
Thanks, still.
$195. Yeah. Okay, and then also this week with 24 hours notice. So this was last week, and then this week with 24-hour notice came Atticus Doom and Necroverse edition.
Yes.
Look at him.
There he is.
Remember Atticus Doom? Okay, hear me out. But what if glow in the dark?
What if I knew a guy named Bob?
Well, wonder no
Sacramento?
longer, Poncheesy. Wonder no longer, the internet's Poncheesy.
Wow.
Here he is. And this was the original teaser image. We saw this for the first time back at RumbleCon this past summer.
I've heard of that.
We saw this image and we're like, ooh, look at that. What if Atticus Doom but glow in the dark?
He is.
And then in the back, we were like, ooh, what's that thing behind him? Is that like another one of those smoke cloud effects that they're doing? Is it like a Photoshop thing just for the photo? Well, it's a real thing. It is a
Keep me in suspense. Let me know.
There it is. Atticus Doom. And look, he even comes with an Eldritch FX.
There it is.
Pretty cool. Some stands for his things. Some spell effects.
They should do
pretty
more
much
of those
all of
vacuum
it
form
is
effects.
What's
Pretty
that?
Cool. They should do more of those vacuum form effects, man. Like
these right here.
No. The skull, the head,
Oh yeah, this
thing.
They've done them for like the smoke clouds for like
Yeah.
the ninjas, and a couple of the Batmans, and both Bear and Benz have one of these, and I think one of the Doc Nocturnals.
Yeah, I would imagine that a vacuum form mold is among the cheapest toolings that would be in their arsenal. So
Yeah.
why not do that more?
Good question. So that looks good. These effects down here are also with this Constantine I just got. He comes with them in 2 different colors, but now you got it in glow in the dark.
He is.
But he's got new hats.
That with hat.
I was just about to say we got double. We got is that the hat from Dick Tracy and the hat from Joker?
I think it's a Gotham by Gaslight Joker hat and a Freddy Krueger hat.
Oh, Freddy.
Freddy. And Atticus Doom
Fredison.
also famously reuses forearms from Freddy.
Mm.
And another interesting, fun reuse. Okay, what if the sword from Hellboy with flame effects but glow in the dark?
If.
Are you starting to see a theme here?
Going up next on What If?
It's cool.
There is a decent amount of new stuff though, like all of those ones on the bottom there.
It's a lot of the tailoring that's new too, and then these came with the original Atticus also.
Oh yeah, I'm tripping.
If not
don't let me give these fools credit.
No. What's interesting is that the tentacle with the bendy wire is going to be glow in the dark too. So how's that going to work?
Bendy
That's
wire.
interesting.
All
right.
Tech unlocked.
So there he is. The only thing that's I guess new would be basically the soft goods too.
Whoa, who's that?
And another first look at what's his name? Bartholomew Vex.
Goatman.
Ooh,
The
Switchblade.
The Goatman. The Baphomet.
Sell that in Hobby Lobby.
No, I would not have a place next to the eat, pray, love sign.
Yeah.
And
Jesus
another good look
lives
at
here.
him. He was also revealed at RumbleCon, so I wouldn't be surprised if we see him before too long. Given
I'd be surprised.
He's in here. Well,
I'll tip the scales. I'll be surprised.
Wait, yeah, you'd be surprised. Okay, because they did this with like Spider-Man when they showed the Spider-Man, and then he was with the Gobby, and then the Gobby went up. Yeah. So
I'll be that guy. I'll be surprised.
Yeah, okay. With 2 weeks left in the year, oh man, there's plenty left in the tank for Mezco surprises.
Who do you think they'll release next with 2 weeks left in the year? Who do you think they'll squeeze right into 2022, huh?
I don't know, man. It could be anything. Alien. I was at Frankenstein this week too, and I picked up my things from my guy. So I got Constantine and Predator and the Crow, and he didn't get it in yet, but other vendors also had Alien in stock, and it was like, oof. A lot of stuff is hitting, and then boom, same day I went to Frankenstein was when this dropped. So it was not.
And I mean, it might not come to you in 2022, but we're hearing that Conan might be soonish.
Yeah, that's true. And then of course, as you mentioned, Teddy Sod.
Yeah. Good old Teddy Sod, baby.
The new Pink Skull set also just arrived, and weirdly, mine didn't. I had the tracking number and it just sat at label created the whole time, and then it just arrived.
Dang,
that still hasn't updated.
Who's the shipping company with that?
It should be FedEx.
Yeah, sometimes what's crazy? Like on the GameStop website, that'll happen a lot too. Like it'll sit at like either label created or preparing shipment, and then it'll show up at my door, and then it'll change to running a bit late.
Oh God,
the worst.
So I'm expecting my sod cutter to do the exact same thing. I've just been frantically checking the door all the time, All
right, what's next?
I think that is in fact it for Mezco, but yeah, a bunch of stuff is about to ship as well. So hey, we eating good right now.
Oh,
so, we're eating good. It's not food.
I brought home my Constantine actually was at work this week, so I am interested in taking some real pics.
Open it.
The man who collects one line says we're eating good. Love to see it.
Yeah.
I heard a crazy theory involving Mezco.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
What if
I think I've heard.
Gunn cancels 89 Batman and they shelf the whole fucking figure?
Oh shit.
Could you imagine?
What, like the Flash? He's in the Flash?
He just cancels fucking like.
Oh my God.
I feel like at this point it has to have some sort of like a single string to the movie or the film. Like it's gotta be what's holding it.
I don't think 89 Batman was ever tied to like any of the new stuff, but know. Like
I mean, like it might have been like a retroactive thing where they're like, okay,
yeah,
well now there's an opportunity to tie it in there, and then
yeah, that's true.
I don't know, man. It's just
it's got to be coming, right? There's no way it isn't.
Right?
He says year after year.
Right? Can't be.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for the Mez Daddy. All right. What about we had something for Tamashi, right?
Yeah, we got
a lot
for Tamashi. So much.
How about everything? How about fucking everything?
Wow.
You're too high. How about I tell you that? You got to go lower even.
Yeah, way lower.
Oh
I can
yeah,
go
baby. Limbo.
How do you feel about that?
Right
That
there.
may
right
have been
there.
the most subtle
Yeah.
Always Sunny reference ever made on this show.
Yeah, click on that power right there. The little girl in the middle,
A hammer.
up there.
There she is.
Oh, this is the one I saw a bunch of people comparing with the Figma.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Figma looks like dog shit.
Oh no. They both have their place in people's collection.
I mean,
One
you
just
know what? All
happens to
jokes
be the trash.
Yeah. all jokes aside, Figma does a great job with portraits. You know, their head
Yeah.
sculpts are always super close to the anime. But let's be perfectly honest here. It's funny. My friend was just asking me like, "Oh, like, you know, how would you compare like these two?" I was like, "Man, you know, I've been buying Figma for like a decade, and their articulation is exactly the same as it was a decade ago." So
That's very
I
Meaning
don't.
great for its time.
Yeah, they're on some nut shit, Patch.
Yeah, so they
Well said.
announced her. She went for pre-order, and she immediately sold out.
Aw, man. They can't squeeze one more in for me.
I think she's still up on BBTS if you want to pay $80 extra or some shit. Something outlandish. Of
Oof.
course, I'm being
Something
facetious.
something ridiculous.
Well, that's cool. I like her hammer. It's very big.
Nice hammer.
It's a damn good hammer, boys.
It's funny because it's bigger than a regular hammer.
That's
Yeah,
the funniest part about it, actually.
yeah. You know, all this praise we're giving Bandai aside, they really,
crispy.
really should have done cloth goods here. This
Yeah.
this character's whole thing is her clothes like hanging off of her, like there. You see that? Like this is no good. Like look
Whoa,
at that.
look at this. Looks like she's just
That's no
ripping through
good.
those sleeves, brother.
Hey, they're trying, all right.
Yeah, you know, I'll give it to them. You know, they are trying. You know, it's not like it's like horrific. You know, it's not like a Revoltech cape.
Oh
But
yeah, well,
yeah, no, I mean that's pretty hard. That's pretty hard to beat.
yeah.
But
who can
come
be
on.
so terrible? Huh?
But come on, just somebody over at Bondi needs to be a secret operative at the Mezco facility and take a couple notes, go back and start this shit rolling because this is not good. But I'll still take it. I'll still take it. Don't get me wrong. Look at that. There's a guy with a coat and a cigarette.
Look how casual he looks. The heck blazer.
That's cash. That's cash
this
as hell,
is
man.
a family show, so I just thought I'd clean that up.
Yeah,
Very
I
very
appreciate it.
cash.
Cool. Do we want to talk about these minis here?
No.
All right.
Oh, you mean
What
the
about
people
Brawly?
that desperately want to be Nendoroids?
What about Brawly?
Let's talk about Brawly. Here it is. First
There
of
he
all,
is.
first and foremost, the crying face, the goat.
He's sad that we called him Brawly.
This is the faceplate that's carrying the entire figure right now.
Oh yeah. It all hinges on that face.
Truly. I feel like we said this when the figure first debuted, but his shoes are fucking huge. And his hands are huge too. So we clowned on that on the full power Broly. Now this is obviously just a using a lot of older parts from that full power Broly.
I was wearing Under Armour.
Yeah, he is sponsored by Under Armour.
So cool.
But it's weird to see these proportions follow over to him. He is supposed to be like a little bit more slim, but in the grand scheme of things, you know, I get it. I meant to bring this up while we were on with the Marvel Legends team, how the other week we all came to the realization that we're all cursed with knowledge. So like whenever we start to try and like start to criticize stuff, we'll always, like, every single one of us are guilty of this. Like we'll always be like, oh, this kind of stinks. Like, why wouldn't they? Okay, well, it's probably not in their budget, and they're probably just trying to, all right, okay, and they could reuse these parts, and it would be way more expensive to tool a whole new slimmer design, even though it's probably just going to be barely noticeable. But like, we all do that shit. But a lot of people are stoked to have this version of Broly out, just regular base form Broly. I think it's great when we get base form Saiyans, so and this is great.
So did people not like the armor? That's what Christopher Miller is saying.
People were so the biggest issue with the
I mean, I know, but just for the people who don't.
Oh, true. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
I feel like the biggest issue with the other base Broly, the Ikari Broly, was he came with a base form head, but base
base form head.
Uh, so,
It
but
was really hard when we were going through that deep
oh
conversation
yeah, you
about
have
Ronin
no idea.
and Boog pressing them about more heads. I was like, I was holding back some more heads.
My finger was literally
I heard
hovering
you say
over the button to just spam so no head, but I had to keep it corgi.
Yeah, they were being so serious. I was hoping it would be a little more lighthearted at the end. So I was gonna say, so what you're basically saying is no extra.
So no head.
I was like, you know what? Not the time.
Yeah. But yeah, the biggest issue was like the old release, the Ikari release, did come with a base head, but his body proportions for that form were so far off what his base form is, it just didn't look right. He just looked like super yoked and super jacked, but that's not how he looks at all in base form. And this is a little bit more subdued. Like the whole new upper torso is way smaller, but he still has like these longer limbs, albeit he is slimmer and whatnot. But it's they were working with what they got, so it was nice. It's nice.
And he comes with an additional head. So additional head for Gohan.
Yeah, that's the big controversy this week. I feel like this was like the straw that broke the camel's back for a lot of people. A lot of people are complaining and just being up in arms that they're basically just DLCing Gohan throughout this entire wave. Which I mean, yeah, I get it. Like again, like to be cursed with knowledge is so strange. Of course, I'm a certified SHF shill. So I will defend this till the day I die. But also,
yo, you shilling it, Punch?
That's true. You shilling it. I really, I mean, for me personally, my opinion means nothing. First and foremost, my opinion means nothing. But from the way I see it is, for me as a collector, I would have bought every single one of these to begin with. But taking myself out of that, if I'm just a basic consumer and I'm like kind of cherry picking these Dragon Ball releases, I feel like the $35 release of Gohan came with enough stuff to really get you by. Like, I will say that the most important like DLC piece that was kind of piecemealed throughout the rest of the characters is probably the Super Saiyan head, which comes with Gamma 1, and maybe the glasses head that comes with Gamma 2.
So glasses head?
So glasses head, exactly. So that is the most telling thing. That's the most like that's like the hardest pill to swallow, right? That you have to buy, you have to buy a Gamma 1 for a Super Saiyan head sculpt and like faceplates and stuff like that. That does suck 100%, especially if you're not interested in getting those characters at all. And with this stuff too, like this is probably the most passable extra Gohan head out of them all. It's just a windswept hair sculpt. So it is what it is. I've been trying to advocate throughout the week that like a lot of people are saying like, why didn't they just include all these heads and faceplates with a regular Gohan? I feel like this is, so counting everything, it's still too much for a regular release. The closest we've gotten so far to this amount of different head sculpts and faceplates is the 1.0 Trunks, which came with like a powered down head and then a Super Saiyan head, and they had their own faceplates. But with this Gohan, we're talking a base form head with regular hair, a base form head with messy hair, a base form head with windswept hair, and then glasses, and then a Super Saiyan head with its own set of faceplates. So that is easily close to 10 different pieces that would never fly with just one release. Like, and it's still being like $60 or $70. It just wouldn't. I really think that this is the best timeline like we're living in right now for this line, is where they give you a Gohan at $35, which is a regular release that they sell at freaking Target. I don't think I've seen Gohan in Target yet, but like he's a $35 release. He's very cheap, and he comes with a lot of stuff. He's arguably one of the best figures in the line right now. He comes with just enough stuff for you to display him how he wants. And if you're interested in really kidding him out, then you're only obligated to buy the figures of the movie where he's the main character. Like, I I hate to put it so bluntly, but like I can't not like White Knight for this thing. Like, he's the main character of the movie. Like, if there's any way that they would do DLC for a character, please make it the main character. Like, I'd be a little pressed if like I was really into like Orange Piccolo or something, and then they DLC'd out his characters and stuff like that. But I don't know. I really don't see the big fucking deal, bro. Like,
Yeah, no, I couldn't believe the lack of like just common sense. Why didn't this Gohan come with all those things, buddy? All the other ones at $35. There's no fucking way they could include all this shit and keep this dude at $35. So what, do you just single out the main character? And let's say it did come with all those things, and his figure isn't $35. His figure's fucking $80 because you want 10 heads. So 10 heads.
So 10,
Like, I don't know. I love this kind of shit. It's funny. I was almost gonna ask the guys like, hey, like, are we still doing extra DLC pieces with random like other legends to like complete things in the past?
that'd be cool.
Like, I love this kind of shit. Like if I'm on the fence about Broly, but then I see this and I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll do it. You know, it's like, I don't know. I like it when companies do shit like this, but I mean, like I said, like Poncho said, you know, my opinion doesn't mean shit. You know, so it's just how I like see things and rationalize things in my head, but I don't see the issue. Like, hey man, you're buying this fucking Broly. Here's a little hair sculpt for you. You know?
Yeah, and on that note, here's a great comment from Jarhead saying, "My Target is stocked with SHF Dragon Ball figures. Been thinking of delving in." Poncho, would you like to read him his obituary?
Yeah. Good luck, brother. I don't know.
See,
Jarhead,
you're the guy that they wanted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they want exactly the kind of person that you are. You know, somebody that's on the fence, but you know, you're at a Target. These things are $35, and you're seeing, you know, some McFarlane and obviously NECA that's literally right next to it at the same price point. But these guys are coming with a crap load of hands, a bunch of heads, you know, and they're super articulated. You know, it's a great time to be a collector, and I think, you know, it's nice that they valued bringing in new collectors and making it more accessible for people than to just, you know, bust everything out like that. And to the hardcore collectors, who this what these pieces are meant for anyways, get to buy these extra figures and get those extra heads.
That's true. I see a lot of people in chat are saying like, you know, Christopher Miller, of course, very outspoken, a loud voice in the chat right now. He's saying like their faceplates, not heads. The Pan comes with a whole new head sculpt. This Broly comes with a whole new head sculpt. Like, I can understand when it comes to like the glasses thing, and then the Gamma comes with a Super Saiyan head sculpt that comes with different faceplates. So like, you know, I understand how it can be super easy to see this stuff at face value and get super pressed about it, but like, I don't know, when it comes to me personally, when I think about it, it really just makes the most sense. And who was that? Shat XO, great name. Was saying they could have released it with the Beast Gohan head. I see that too, for sure. Beast Gohan's going to be a full retail price, but I would much rather my Beast Gohan head come with as many Beast Gohan expressions as possible. I don't want this figure of Beast Gohan to have to split the faceplates and head sculpts with another form that's not even Beast Gohan. I don't want, as much as I love the Great Saiyaman release, that is what people want from this. So everybody that's complaining about what's happening right now, if you were to get your way, we would have gotten another Great Saiyaman release, which in itself was a great release, but that was a release that was split between 3 different forms of Gohan. It was a Great Saiyaman head, helmeted head, it was a base Gohan head, and it was a Super Saiyan Gohan head, and we had basically the bare minimum of faceplates for each of those heads. I would much, much rather them dive deep into as many different faceplates as they can so I can express a much more wider range of emotion and have more display options for these figures versus having to compromise with one release that they can fit into the $60 or $70 budget and then have to sacrifice all that stuff just so they can get the most amount of like different heads and like faceplates in it. Like I would much rather this model where they just add different faceplates and more options to characters that I was already going to get in the first place. And then just have it like that. That's where I'm coming from. I don't want another Great Sandman release. It was great, but it just I don't know. It was not enough stuff. That's it. That's it for me.
You can hop down off that soapbox there, Punch.
I don't complain about much on the show, but like, I don't know. I feel like I've been talking to people all week about it.
I have a serious question though. Okay, I, as a, let's say, the biggest Dragon Ball fan ever, I used to watch it every day on Toonami, right? If I were to have, a roster of Z fighters, but it was all the Dragon Ball superhero versions, would I get roasted for being like not a real fan?
What are you saying? Sorry, I zoned out.
He's saying, would he get roasted for having only the Dragon Ball superhero figures on his shelf and not the original?
Absolutely not. Do your thing.
No, especially because
buying a Target right now.
They're very close to the original looks anyways. Like, yeah, there's differences, obviously, like very slight ones, but like nothing crazy where you don't know who the fuck that is. Like, why is Vegeta dressed like this? Like, not anything like that.
Well, like if I wanted to impress the cute chick with like my Dragon Ball knowledge and she comes over and sees the figures and she looks at their feet, it's like, why are they wearing Ugg boots? The original animation, they had more pointed boots. What are you, some kind of fake fan? I'm out of here.
She wouldn't say that. Oh. She'd be impressed. She'd be like, wow, you're not some fair weather I was a fan when I was 15 guy, are you? Look at you. You got the recent shit. You got that new on your fucking shelf. You know what? I'm gonna marry this guy. You know what? I'm gonna father your kid. That's what she's gonna say.
Great counterpoint, Rick. All right.
One last thing else. I'm sorry. I'm so invested in this argument right now. ShadXO was saying ShadXO was saying, just make a Beast Gohan head. I didn't mean just make a Beast Gohan head. I'm saying they could have included the parts from Pan, Gamma 1 and 2, and others with the Beast Gohan release. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I'm saying I don't want a Beast Gohan figure to have to compromise to include all that different stuff. I'd rather have a Beast Gohan release with as many Beast Gohan heads as possible and faceplates. And then Christopher Miller saying, I'm saying it doesn't have to be a whole new head, just more faceplates with different prints on them. Yeah, I'd love that too. I'd love as many faceplates as possible, but if there's a situation where they can spread 3 different head sculpts into the line, and it's fine for me. Like, so I would much rather just buy into a Gohan at $35 and then have the ability to grab his different heads from other figures versus them releasing the same Gohan 3 different times on the same buck just with more heads. And I understand how hypocritical that comes from a guy that 100%s the whole line and buys a Goku every 40 minutes. But like, that's just how it is, bro. I just don't know what to say.
Yeah, it ties back into we're with the Hasbro guys. There's obviously a budget, and I'm sure that these guys, they work on these lines are just as big of fans as we are, and they make all these fucking faces, and they're like, bro, we can't put these faces for $35. What the fuck do we do? And they're like, well, there's 2 options. Number 1, we don't fucking include the faces, or number 2, we space them out with these other figures. Oh shit, yeah, let's space them out. That I'm almost certain that's how the convo went. Like, I doubt there's anything deeper in like, yeah, now we're really gonna fuck these guys up, and they have to buy Broly crying now.
So how many Gohan heads is this now?
It's a ton. It's a lot.
So Gohan heads?
For this particular movie, this look though.
It's his base form head, base form head with windswept hair, and then his base form head with the messy hair. Then it's the Super Saiyan head, and then his beast form head, which is coming with which is its own release. So it's 5 heads. So 5 heads. We have to get away from this topic because if I say head one more time, I'm gonna fucking implode. Like,
All right. There's a lot of reveals, anyways. There's plenty of times we can
All
talk
right,
about
fine.
it.
Can we move on? Jeez.
That's crispy.
That Anya, we've seen that before already, right, Pancho?
yeah.
It was just it went
deco.
up for sale, right?
Different deco.
From
I think, on
Spy
this one.
Family, right?
I don't know why I thought we talked about this one before. We just hadn't seen
We
the
talked
full
about the
product
reveal,
pictures.
but is this maybe it was a different outfit?
Yeah,
it's
no,
just-
I think you're right. It was
Yeah,
just the
full
reveal
uniform
itself.
version.
I think we saw the reveal itself, but never all these face sculpts and
Yeah,
anything like that. I think we just saw the initial one.
this is being called a school uniform version.
Yeah,
Can we see this at New York Comic Con? Am I bugging?
maybe we did. But this is when this is when she's at school. I honestly I don't know if Pancho's collecting this line or anything like that. Do you have the original Anya, the one where she's like in her house clothes?
No, I missed that one.
Oh,
Yeah, I missed it too, and it's funny because I pre-ordered both the adults, and I just this thing's like I give a lot of companies shit, so I'm gonna do it here. This thing's gonna be a statue with limbs, huh?
Possibly.
Just like
a traffic
tube,
cone, yeah.
it's just a tube with limbs. But I
Yeah.
mean, look at those face sculpts; they're incredible. It's hard not to.
Well, that's where
hard not
all the expression is going to come from.
Yeah, she has great expression in the show. That's like her thing, is the faces that she makes.
Now, what about Jujutsu Kaisen?
These are proplicas. We don't gotta talk about those.
Even this one?
No, that's the Seto Ghetto figure, and the one on the left is fucking is Rika, the sword that what's his name uses.
There it is.
All right.
That hasn't even. I don't even think they revealed that one yet.
Hey, she came out for pre-order, and so did Anya.
There she is.
All right, hang on.
Wanna be
All right,
Nendos?
here we go.
Uh-oh. Okay, how many lines have you started and stopped with One Piece, huh? Well, here's another one. Fucking man, this is rough. I
You
don't
don't like?
No, it looks good. It's just not that. It's that that's just what I said. Like, there's been so many like figure lines for One Piece that have started, were not successful, and stopped, and like I just wonder how far this one's gonna go.
Who knows, maybe this
Pancho,
one
you
has
getting that
legs.
one?
Probably. I have the first release. Might as well get this one.
Yeah.
What about this one though?
Here is fucking Bankai Ichigo. He fucking this is Sora when he grows up.
That's what a lot of people are saying. This is a Kingdom Hearts looking ass figure.
Yeah, real Kingdom Hearts vibes here.
I never really got into Bleach. I'll say that much. As much as I know,
I
never really fucked with Bleach.
Hey, I never got into Bleach either. I was just like, you know what, man? I watched too many shows where the main character has fucking orange hair. Let's move on.
Yeah.
We gotta grow up a little bit.
Like
pal.
middle school friends, you guys already tricked me with this Naruto business. I'm done. You won't get me
Exactly.
with Bleach.
Come on. Sora over here, there's no way I was gonna give him a chance.
Yes.
Boom. We got fucking SHF. Fucking I don't even think this anime is up yet.
Gabi Maru is his name. Well,
Hell's
if you know what,
Paradise.
if Ace is excited, then I'm excited for Ace.
Hey, this is interesting, man. Like, this isn't like the biggest series, so to have that reveal even before the anime is pretty nuts.
Oh, this is the guy from the Silhouette, right?
That's Silhouette, yeah, that's fucking Geto Suguru. I called him Kenjaku earlier. He's not Kenjaku yet in this picture, but yeah. That's gonna be another statue with limbs right there, it looks like, though.
Oh, here's some more for the One Piece.
Uh-oh, we got fucking Zoro. Whoa.
Cigarette Man.
We got fucking Sanji. Whoa.
They're making Constantine?
How did I know?
Because he's smoking a cigarette. Look, my guy's doing it too.
Yeah, his name's Anime Constantine. Show some respect.
Oh, this is figure arts 0. Okay, what about these chain summons?
That's fucking the samurai, the katana man. He's got the samurai sword hands. They be fighting.
It's kind of cool. Their limbs are like bladed weapons.
I mean, that's what it's looking like.
Ooh, a cat.
Oh yeah, she comes with cat.
That's cool. Yeah,
There's like a product picture of her like holding the cat and shit. But
yeah, okay.
not here.
Not here.
Somewhere. Not there.
Are these all still up, or did these like sell out?
They sold out.
Oh,
Just the Power and the Anya.
Oh my.
And I don't know about the Figure Arts Mini. I don't keep track of those.
Yeah, who would?
Yeah.
I mean, not anybody I know with any self-respect.
I don't know a single person who buys those.
No, they're out of their mind.
I'm not even exaggerating. I know we do a lot of jokes on this show. There's a lot of bits here. 100% for real. I don't know a single fucking person who has ever bought one of these. And if you have bought one of these, speak up. I want to meet.
Let us know. Yeah. Let us claim it with fucking pride. You're supporting these guys, man. Let us know that you've been in this game since they were called Tamashi Buddies, and let us know why.
Tamashi Buddies.
Yeah, it was. I'll never forget when we were helping them set up one year at fucking Comic-Con, and they're like, and I was like, "What are these?" And he's like, "These are Tamashi Buddies, our answer to Nendoroids."
Yeah,
and I just looked at him like, "Oh." Yeah, I looked at him, I was like, "Oh, cool." And then I walked away like, "What the fuck is up with these guys? Like, are they all right?"
Yeah, smoking rocks? What's going on?
Yeah, and then now they're like, "Oh, well, now we make Tamashi Buddies, but they have cuts."
Cool.
Genius. Yeah,
nice try, I really wouldn't mind Tamashi Buddies if they had knee articulation. Like, it's just not having knee articulation fucks with me.
Yeah, I mean those things right here, those Figure Arts Mini, aren't they like $30?
Yeah, they're pretty expensive. Well, I don't know about $30.
2,700 yen.
Yeah, that's
so that
that's
means
cheap.
I don't even have that much on me.
If they're 27 there, then that probably means they're like $30 here.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, that's really rough. Like, imagine paying $30 for something that fucking moves like a fucking 80s G.I. Joe, or even less. Even 80s G.I. Joe's lapping these guys.
It's like a reaction figure, basically.
Yeah, like a reaction figure. Yeah, that's exactly it.
Oh, speaking of reaction,
that's it for Tamashi. Reaction?
That's it for Tamashi. My heart, my spirits were lifted and crushed within the same week when, hey, first of all, nothing but respect for the Super 7 team. When they announced that they were doing The Office, my heart soared with the eagle's nest. But then they were fucking reaction figures, and I was like, God damn it. Why?
No, they are?
Yeah, they're reaction.
They are. They always are at first.
Yeah, so that's the silver lining. They are at first. So once again, yeah, I know, Kyle, I know you're in here, brother. I see your name right now. I don't know if you're at liberty to say, but if you're interested in printing money, which can be exchanged for Shroot Bucks, Stanley Nickels, or, the ratio to unicorns and leprechauns, then make these ultimates, please. Like, you just have to. Like, I feel like everybody at a certain point in time is like, I need a 1/12 scale Michael Scott at minimum. So it's you got to do it. You got to do it, Kyle. You got to do it.
Yeah, let's quit pussyfooting around here.
No, here we go.
All of us.
Kyle says, if you want the Office Ultimates, it would behoove you to buy the Office reactions. I don't want your snake oil here, Kyle.
Damn.
You fucking masterclass salesman, this guy.
Samuel L. Chang is gonna have to be bought, I guess.
You have to get all of these. Come on.
So,
oh man, hostage number 64 doesn't come with, or hostage number 4 doesn't come with a freaking bullet hole.
He comes with a stunt head.
The stunt head.
Stunt head.
So stunt head.
So stunt head. Exactly.
Exploding head variant.
Kyle is saying, vote with your dollars. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, It's not wrong, and that's the most frustrating part of this all.
I thought
Al
you were
says
the
Toby's head is
opposite.
removable.
Poncho, you once told me I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. And if I don't see these, hanging up somewhere behind you, well then, how will I know?
Well, so you know what? For all that shit I was talking, I am going to buy these. There's no question. I got to support this line. There's no way I'm not going to. I don't like. Here's where I stand on this. Like, I know like a big thing with reaction stuff is like the nostalgia of old Kenner and all that stuff. That is completely lost on me. I never experienced any of that stuff. The closest I came to those old Kenner figures is a hand-me-down G.I. Joe with the rubber bands that I had in the Philippines. So I never
the
experienced it
O-rings.
on card or anything like that. so the novelty of this specific nostalgia is lost on me. I almost bought in to the Parks and Rec ones. I see them at my Target all the time, and I'm this close to getting that freaking Ron Swanson. But like, when it comes to this is something that like I cannot help but support for sure. Just for the twinkle of an Ultimates version in the future, for sure. Kuya Joe says Pac photos, goddamn.
Just a two-wave, like a debut wave of or a two-figure debut wave of Ultimates with just Michael Scott and who else did you put in that wave?
I'm saying
You
it's Michael Scott. It's I was gonna say it's Michael Scott, as if they're two different people. It's Michael, Jim, Pam, and Dwight is the first wave.
Oh yeah, for
But
sure.
what if it's only two? Let's say it's only two.
Then it's Michael and Dwight.
Yeah, you just do Michael and Dwight.
Yeah.
And then it's the perfect, because if you keep going two at a time after that point,
then you do Pam and
Jim and Pam.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then if we're going deeper, after that, you do boom, Ryan and Kelly.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. What about
and Phyllis
Gabe
and Stanley?
Yeah, Phyllis and Stanley.
And Andy
then,
and Kelly, I guess.
And then Meredith and Creed.
No. You got to go Kevin with Chili by CJ Chili apron.
Chili
apron. Chili cloth goods apron.
Oh yeah.
And that's you gotta have CJ and his wife making the fucking mitts, the apron. He's serious about this stuff.
Oh man. Yeah, Kyle's saying he designed the Power Rangers and the Office reactions. Oh, there we go. These are your babies, huh? Nah, I gotta support. Absolutely.
Wow. You just made a sale.
You just made us. Congratulations.
You know what?
Right here at the Chili's, you just made a sale, buddy. Corporate's gonna go ballistic, but I think we can.
Corporate's gonna go ballistic. Here's my blood. It's red, just like yours.
So love me.
So love me.
Also new from Super 7. What about some of the Transformers?
Yeah.
Yes. That's cool. I really like this Megatron. He's
sometimes I say this a lot. I am happy to have missed the mark on a lot of these because I would just want all of them. I do have Metalhead, the Super 7 Metalhead on my Christmas list.
So Metalhead?
So Metalhead. There we go.
So no head?
I do have that on my Christmas list because it was in my local comic book shop. And I very subtly made hints to my wife by sending her a gallery of photos of it on the shelf on my local comic book shop, saying, "Here it is. This is how much it costs.
I shall seek."
So let's hope that subtlety pays off Christmas morning, huh?
Yeah, man, she killed it last year.
Oh, she absolutely did, dude. It's unreal.
Yeah, she murdered it.
Are you guys watching Willow?
Not.
Yeah.
Looks like we've got some Willow figures from Reaction also coming.
From the newest series.
Yeah. I will say about Transformers too, even though I have no real huge connection to the G1 stuff, this sort of era. I will say I am out to collect all of the Magic the Gathering Transformers cards very hard. I'm taking one of Magic's greatest villains, Mishra, and I'm teaming him up with Television's The Decepticons. And it's a lot of fun.
That's fantastic. So you're gonna tap 3 green lands so that Optimus Prime can transform.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's
I'm gonna
genius.
pay him for his more than meets the eye cost. So there,
Are they?
you know, it's
Are
just
they? Are they? Are they?
Transformers, you know, it's timeless.
Are they all artifacts? Or
Yeah, they're artifact creatures.
that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's so cool. All right.
You're showing us Cortex, huh?
Yeah. So, Cortex Commander, part of the new wave of the worst. I love this.
Yeah, I love
This
this
is
line
so
too.
absurd.
It's just stupid.
I kind of want it.
I hope these following waves of the worst ultimates, they just don't get that wobble out of them that the first wave that I got had.
And they got the Cortex Pigeon.
Mm-hmm. It's so cool. How does that work?
Jesus.
How would
Jesus
that ever
Christ.
Well, first
Well,
of all,
I mean-
pigeons
I
aren't
love
real.
how he
Birds
has-
aren't real. So
Listen,
Yeah,
easy.
birds
has
aren't real, so this is the
damn
truth.
cigar that he can't even smoke. How's he gonna smoke a cigar when he's just a brain in a jar?
All
How does he
about
light
the
it?
image. It's all about the image, baby.
I
Hey,
know.
whoa,
right?
whoa! Don't disrespect him.
He's a brain in a jar. He'll figure it out.
Look at
He's got the brains, baby.
He comes with a broken jar accessory so that you
Yeah.
can fit the ciggy in there. The
Oh,
old
that's what that's
stogie.
for.
You fit the stogie in there through the
That's it.
hole.
I smoke
Stogies?
the stogies anywhere.
Stogies?
Why not?
Don't hide in the corner like you boys. Smoke it
Like
anywhere.
you. That video I watch almost every single day of my life. I'm ballsy. I'm a stud.
I'm ballsy.
I don't have to take any shit from anybody.
Oh man, J. Michael Johnson with a great call out. This makes me want evil con carne figures from Billy and Mandy.
Oh my god.
I loved evil con carne.
Genius.
Hey, if they're doing SpongeBob, come on now. There's plenty of untouched animation gold out there somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm-
like when are we gonna get a Hey Arnold wave? Kyle!
Yeah, Kyle, come on.
Kyle!
I guess we gotta wait
Hey,
another
Arnold!
10 years for Cartoon Network nostalgia to really hit because of how it is just like recently shut down, right? It's getting folded into
Oh yeah,
Warner
all that
Brothers
shit.
Animation
Yeah,
or
that's
whatever.
rough to hear.
Yeah,
I'm not a
and
big
that-
fan of like new age Cartoon Network stuff. When I say new age, I feel like anything past like Foster's is like too new for me.
yeah. So you were never into Adventure Time and
Adventure Time,
regular
like
show?
so the craziest thing about Adventure Time is like the pilot for Adventure Time was on YouTube for years before that show got picked up. And like me and my best friend, like we loved that pilot so much. We would watch it all the time to the point where this is so lame. When we would go to like parties and shit and people were like playing YouTube videos at parties, we're like, hey, we got to show you this shit. And like, we would just watch that pilot so often. And I think for me personally, I got so used to the way, I think Jake's voice actor was the same, but Finn's was not. I could be wrong, but like when the actual show came out, it was so different from the pilot. I was like, oh, this isn't for me anymore. But I do, I do like Adventure Time. I cherry picked some episodes.
What about the Amazing World of Gumball?
Oh my god, that show's the best.
That's why Ebony Leopard right now is saying the only thing Poncho would enjoy is the Amazing World of Gumball. I do like Amazing World of Gumball, but I just don't. I admire it from afar. I don't watch it.
Okay.
Oh man,
alright.
that show is a fucking treasure.
Well, I don't like any of these. I don't like cartoons.
That's
Yeah,
true. You
because
hate
you're an
cartoons.
adult.
No.
Yeah, you're an adult that collects action figures and
Yeah, no.
fucking
I don't do any
real clothing.
I don't do any of that kid stuff.
Yeah, you don't do that
Exactly.
kid
Man,
shit.
tell him.
But that said,
Talk to
hey,
these nerds.
how about a little code name Kids Next Door, huh?
Yeah, I was
Number
gonna say
one.
Kids Next Door is when I was like just getting out. That was probably the last thing I watched. That era.
Ed and Eddie, hello.
My wife loves Ed and Eddie. It's crazy.
Oh man, and that's an easy one to do because that's just a 3-figure wave and you're done.
That's
Nobody's
true.
nobody's gonna like hit you over the head for a Kevin or like a Rolf. She'd be like,
That's
"Oh, come
true.
on,
I kind of want a Rolf, the son of a shepherd.
the son of a shepherd," or fucking. Why did you make a Naz? Or the Trailer Park Girls,
Oh my God, the Canker Sisters.
the Cankers. There we go.
Nightman Nemo just said the perfect marriage for Super 7 is a fucking Dexter's Lab, specifically
Dexter's Laboratory.
Specifically the episode where they have the mech.
Oh man, yeah,
My
where they
God.
fucking have the battling mechs.
Yeah. That is like one of the greatest episodes of that era of Cartoon Network as a whole. I think so.
And you know what's the best part? You know what's the best part is that when you do that, you can do the off-brand Avengers.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
true.
dude.
Val Hallen, their version of like the Rockstar version of
The
Thor,
Justice
the Mighty
Friends, yes.
the Justice
Kronk.
Friends, the Mighty Kronk,
Mhm. The Infraggable Kronk.
the Infraggable Kronk.
Which is, I believe, where that genre of music got its name.
There you go. And Val Hallen, and I fucking forget the guy that's
Major
fake Captain
Glory.
America.
Major Glory.
Major Glory. Yeah,
And then they had the, what was he, like White Tiger or something, who like was an
I know
actual
White
house
Panther.
cat. I know. White. It might have been White Panther actually. and then who could forget the samurai guy, Sam R.I.
Yeah, Sam R.I.
Genius. Genius.
I would kill for Valhalla, the Viking god of
Yeah,
rock.
me too. Honestly, like, yeah.
Yeah, I'd take it.
All right.
That
What's
was
that?
the original MCU, to be honest.
That was the original MC.
You
It's a great
you
video
think
essay.
Endgame is ambitious?
What about Johnny Bravo? Come on now.
There it is.
Oh man.
There's a great video essay on YouTube talking about how Spider-Man and X-Men was like the original MCU, the animated shows, because they just had so
Yeah.
many Marvel characters.
Oh, I
on
get
there.
that in the algorithm all the time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Same
for
here.
sure.
Oh, Kyle House, Ben 10. Ben 10 was the shit. I watched the hell a lot of Ben 10 up until like right when they started doing the live action movies, and I was like, all right, this shit has jumped the shark.
crispy.
They know they've got a hit on their hands. And they're milking everything they can out of it.
Yeah, when Cartoon Network makes a live action adaptation of something, it's time to jump ship.
Right. It was like that was the big deal. It was like their first like live action movie or something.
And it was a terrible success.
I would have expected Cartoon Network to be good at live action movies.
Yeah.
Exactly. You'd think.
That's on me.
You'd think.
You know,
That is on you.
yeah.
Common sense would tell you.
It could just be honestly if they do it just a full just Cartoon Network wave, and just cherry pick main characters or a bunch of characters from different shows. You know,
If you thought people complain now, wait until they do that. Shit, everybody's just
you don't want to
gonna
wait
be
4
asking
years
for-
to complete Ed, Ed, and Eddie. Come on, brother.
Yeah.
Have some patience.
That's how you really trap them. Kyle, are you taking notes? That's how you trap them. You do like one character from each cartoon where they're like, "Fuck, now I gotta buy every wave to get these Eddie brothers." I mean, they're
Billy
not
and
brothers.
Mandy
You know what I mean?
3 waves apart. Wouldn't that be sick?
Oh man,
Oh, but really, Grimm would be so much fun.
be so
Yeah.
good.
Anywho,
Gotta have the Rastafarian death.
that'd be cool. All right. Well, I guess we up and out of here, huh? Is that what it is?
Yeah, stop the hour. Might as well.
Stop at that. We might as well.
2 plugs and peace out.
Let's do plugs and peace out.
I feel like there's some important thing that we're not talking about. But oh well.
Well,
I mean, did we talk about Henry Cavill leaving?
oh, we did
DC?
not. We kind of mentioned it at the top because I was saying that probably falls under the umbrella of why they canceled the
Well,
show.
we can roll that over till next time. We'll see if anything else develops there.
Yeah,
but
more developments.
Yeah. We wouldn't want to speak out of turn.
We want to let it fester like an ingrown toenail
Oh
Mhm.
no.
on the face of entertainment.
What a
We
disgusting.
gotta wait until it starts
collection
making
of
us
words.
sick before we see the doctor.
I've been
all
on-
right. Well, I got something
I'm gonna
going
play this
on.
5 times already, but all right, it's fine.
I'll just do my
Hey,
plugs real quick. Get up
what
outta
just
here.
happened?
I don't know.
I was trying to say like 5 times already that I've been on a classified opening spree over here, man. I've been having The time of my life opening these figures right now.
What are you opening?
Camera off. Share the load, brother.
What are you opening, Boog?
I've been opening the classified figures this
Oh.
this episode, just opening a bunch of stuff that I hadn't opened yet.
You got the
Open
Jesse Ventura
Outback?
guy in that wave?
Huh?
Is the
What?
Jesse Ventura guy in that wave? Oh, I guess not.
I got Dusty Outback, Crimson Guards. I'm about to open the Twins. They're fucking nice.
That's fantastic.
All right, yeah. So, what you guys got going on?
I have been taking the last couple of weeks off my stream because I've been working, but as I said, the show is done after this week, so I think I'll be doing a stream this coming Monday over on my channel, Fobster, youtube.com/Fobster360. I think it'll be like a holiday special, right? Because it's going to be what, the 19th? I think it'd be kind of gauche to do a holiday special the Monday after Christmas, but I don't know. I do want to do a holiday special, kind of like I did the Halloween special a couple months ago. So whether that's this week or next week, we'll see. But I do have something fun planned for when that happens. So yeah, go subscribe, youtube.com/Fobster360. Follow me on Instagram, instagram.com/Fobster360, at Fobster360. That's it.
Excellent.
Cool.
Right.
What about you, Rick? Yeah.
Hey, what up? It's me, Rick, and I'm doing shit. You know, I'm buying
man,
shoes.
sick.
I'm at these thrifts, baby. I'm buying figures too. I'm doing everything. I'm doing it all. I'm on my Dan Yoon shit. I'm on my fucking figures and shoes tip. I'm on
I
it.
didn't talk to him about
24/7.
You missed out.
Yeah, the conversations, they were getting so serious. They were getting so great. I didn't want to muddy the waters. But I did compliment him. Any eagle-eyed or eagle-eared sneaker collectors would have known as soon as he came into the stream. I said, "Whoa, you have your Since Apparel t-shirt." He was wearing a t-shirt by Since Apparel, a company owned and operated by YouTuber Nightwing2303, very famous sneaker reviewer and sneaker tester. So in case you want to look for the best basketball sneaker, he's always the channel to go to. Great guy, Chris. From time to time I send him Marvel Legends. He follows the A.C.B.A page. Great guy.
Oh, cool.
Huge nerd / sneaker collector. He's a great guy.
Nice. Yeah, that shirt was dope.
Yeah, it's good. So I loved it. I love this TV. Poncho.
Yeah, I am just doing my thing, man. I'm starting to edit. I'm continuing to edit more Posy and Easy stuff. And then what am I doing? I don't know. I'm trying to get a line on this laser cutter right now. Been kind of talking to this dude on and off all day. He's moving and he's trying to sell his laser cutter. But it's already all packed up. And I'm like, "Hey, can you just prove to me that it works? I just want to know this thing turns on." But he's like, "It's backed up." So I don't know. That's been on my mind all day. If I get a laser cutter, man, and I complete this infinity gauntlet of maker tools, I don't know what's gonna go. I don't know what's gonna go on. I might enter a can of bean era or some shit like that. I have no idea.
Whoa.
Big shout out to Can of Beans, big inspiration. But aside from that, Dusty's continue to print. I'm making a conscious effort to be more transparent about that. I just get in these cycles of when I share a lot of things, I start to make myself believe that I'm being annoying about it. And people I don't know. It's I get in my own head about this stuff. I share a lot of Dusty progress and stuff, and then I'm kind of thinking is this annoying to people? Am I just kind of just being too much about this? But then I don't know. People seem to like it, so I'm making a much more conscious effort to be more vocal about it and whatnot. And it's working because a lot of people are still putting in orders. Of course, it's an open pre-order. for the Dusties. There is a queue, but I'm over halfway done with it at this point. I also just got a second 3D printer. I want to say 2 weeks ago, and like I completely, readjusted like my files for printing them, so they're much better. What do you call it? They're just better made files, and they print better, and they're sturdier, and they're a little faster. So I'm able to produce way more than I was at the beginning of this. So the queue is moving along quite fast right now. So it's an open pre-order, like I said. Even despite how annoying I think I might be with constantly talking about these, people are putting in more orders. So if you're interested in getting a set of Dusties, just go on my profile, and then there's a pinned post that has like the trailer I cut for it and whatnot. It has an example of what they look like in different scenarios. And then just comment on that post if you want one, and then you'll be added to the queue. Early bird pricing was only supposed to be for like last year, but I decided to extend it to the end of this year. So that's it. It's $40 for a set, and then plus shipping whenever it pops up. Shipping is usually like less than $5. So I'm super stoked to see like a lot of people messing with it. A lot of people have been sharing it too, so that's really sick to see a lot of people doing it and like putting it in their photography. Even now, I think I'm being annoying because I'm fucking talking about it. So it's a little window into my brain.
How do you live in a world where all we want is content, and you think we don't want more fucking content?
That's very true. That's
More
very
cheesy content, if anything.
We want more. We want more lives. We want fucking more Dusties.
I want you to throw a camera in your wife's face and make her your content.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and
Love it,
yeah,
first of all.
you'll be the next Try Guy. Yeah, I really
I just love my wife so much.
Conte's the next Liver King, if anything.
Oh yeah, he's 100% natch. Don't listen to Fabio. He's 100% natch. I really like the Dusty sharing just because a lot of the times I'm like, oh fuck, that's genius.
Yeah, that's what's killing me. That's what's like great about it too, Rick. I totally agree with you. Like people are using them in ways that my small brain could not comprehend. So it's great.
Yeah, I wish I bought that fucking what's his name? What's the soccer players? The
Captain
third party
Tsubasa?
one?
Lionel Messi.
Captain, I wish I had the fucking Captain Tsubasa, because I'd get a pair of Dusties and I'd fucking Tsubasa the shit out of them. Yeah, it's like fast kick, with the
Fast
fucking
kick.
dust. Fast kick, the dust kicking up with the ball,
I'll never forget.
just-
I'll never forget back when GameStop sold DVDs. Some grandma came in looking for Rush Hour, but kept on calling it Fast Kick. The best thing ever.
Call
Fast
it what?
Hour?
Calling it Fast Kick.
Fast Kick?
You got that movie with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker, Rush Hour? No. I'm talking about Fast Kick.
Fast Kick. Story spread like wildfire.
I think she was
One of
talking
the
about
greatest stories of
driving
all
between
time.
5 p.m. and 7 p.m.
But
And
all that being
apparently there's 3 of them.
We better hop on the 405 or we're going to hit Fast Kick.
all that being said, yeah, go to my Instagram, look at what I'm doing, and then eventually I'll put out a real YouTube video. I have no idea.
I can't wait to see it, Punch.
Hey, thanks. What about you, Boog? What's going on with you?
Yeah, I'm just over here being 10 years old again, opening up all these G.I. Joes. I'm going to continue to put out little updates and stuff. I'm going to water my plants, and I'm going to get a good night's sleep. That's what I'm
Beautiful.
promoting, right?
Yeah, I'm tired AF.
I could go another 4 hours if I wanted to.
Yeah, why not?
All right, after show.
All right, get the guys back on. Can somebody call Ryan in Taiwan and let them know we're running it back.
If Dan's done with dessert.
Yeah, tell him ask for progress on dessert. Tell Dwight that to put his kids to bed. It's time to go after hours. After the party, it's the Waffle House. Let's do it.
That's it. After the
I really would love to go to the Waffle House.
After the lobby, it's the hotel party.
Exactly.
Before we go, I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody in chat for keeping it cordial, man. While we had the Marvel Legends team here, I know it can be very easy get swept up, that little devil on your shoulder, just say extremely out of pocket shit. But I had confidence in y'all, and you guys killed it. You're the guys who killed it this week, not just Fabio.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, thanks everybody for the super chats. I really wish we could have gotten to all of them, but you know, if it wasn't obvious, this is the first time these guys were on the show. All three of them were here. We wanted the conversation to be as natural as possible. We just didn't want to be stopping it, every couple of minutes just to ask, a bunch of questions about Marvel Legends that they ultimately couldn't answer. Unfortunately,
yeah, we just gotta let it flow. I think that was great.
Yeah, we like peppered in a few just so you guys could see, like, hey man, like they're not going to answer that question, or that type of information isn't going to be given out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're gonna have another opportunity to do an actual official interview. So
yeah, well, Dwight said it at the end of the show, but we were all getting a little rowdy. Said he wants to come back, do it again.
Yeah, I'd love to just have these guys on the show, just in a even more chill capacity, where we don't have to worry about talking shop or whatever, and then just talk about the toy community as a whole. And I think that kind of stuff would facilitate a lot of the questions you were asking, Boog, just about like their how they came up, their home life and stuff like that. That kind of stuff for me is the most like interesting and valuable stuff whenever these guys come on other people's streams and stuff, is learning about them as like people and what they're into and all that stuff. I love that. I can just wait 3 months and figure out and get the answers to all the questions about Marvel Legends that I had.
Like I always say, that is one of the most alluring things about the community, is actually, meeting people face to face, talking in real time, and like really getting to know people, based on the fact that we are all collectors and into all of these different little niche parts of the hobby or whatever. But really getting to like chop it up with people is one of the most interesting parts of all of this for me personally. Like, I'm just fascinated by people and how they think, and what makes them tick and shit like that. So
absolutely, gonna celebrate myself.
All right. So with that said, once again, thanks to everybody for hanging out with us this evening, the super chats and all of that stuff. And we love you guys. And until next time, peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye. Some of the low level
I got
surreal.